Hello everyone, welcome to a spooky episode of Let's Talk FGO. Hi, I'm one of your hosts, I'm kind of a dragon, Omega, and with me as always, the expert in demi-humans, Lucky.
Hello everybody, I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Let's Do the Time Warp Again. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest FGO related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events about the JP and EM versions of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should take their hate and disgust and go elsewhere.
Yeah, so today, we don't have a lot of news, but some of it's news, and it matters.
Spicy.
But we do have a lot of back half, so we'll be sure to get you to that as soon as we get through our hour or so of the mailbag, which of course we are still doing, naturally, because why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and begin by reminding everybody this episode brought to you by patrons like Adam Harp, Ahanga Comics, Architect 10, Blacklist OG, Carlos Quad, Jeremy Vasquez, Kelly Denton, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Rogue and Shiny P, some guy named Bob, Soda Son over 2 for 723, and Zach Reed. And if you like what you want to see more, consider supporting Patreon. You can get access to lots of goodies and episodes early, and it really helps us out. Thank you for support, everybody.
Thank you.
Spooky Ken Crack.
Right.
And hopefully nobody yells about the 4 seconds of Toccata Fugue in D minor I used at the start of this.
I was picking spooky, scary skeletons.
Nah, I got buttons for that, but I wanted to mix it up.
All right.
I can hit the skeleton button for old time's sake if you want.
Please.
I still got that. Okay, how long was that? That was like a good 7 or 6 seconds. That might cause a surprise. If there was a weird silence there, it's YouTube's fault. Blame YouTube. I'm not at fault for including too long a section of spooky, scary skeletons, which is a real song by real people. But alright, so that was our Patreon intro, and that was all our stuff out of the way. And now, I'm gonna use my soundboard again, and then put it away so I don't keep smashing random skeleton buttons. And remind everybody it's time to check in with our favorite
Senpai, 起きてください.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai Record Second which this week I have prepared only an update on the upcoming November login ticket. It's actually not November yet, so this is helpful. You're going to be looking at octuplin crystal stakes and needles, aka stakes. At least that's what I'm using it for. The stakes are bronze mat, so they get used a lot. I think one of Aresh's skills is still at 8. We'll have enough fun with the stakes. Anyway, let's move on to our records from the throne of regular achievement topic. Pretty mild this week, but I, personally, Omega, did hit Master Level 140. Yay. That was the old Master Level cap, not that cost. I got like 140 AP, which is still an awkward number. Not sure what they were thinking with that one, but it happens. And I think technically I still got a friend slot for you. I don't think anybody's messaged me yet since I got a plus 1 slot. Yeah. Well, there's a blast from the past. That's an old ass meme.
We say old ass, but like I'm pretty sure
I mean, it's a year old, but still.
Yeah.
That's, in meme terms, that's fucking ancient. I think it's the dumb thing, the dumb Kim Kardashian tweet about the island.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I've seen several very funny variations of that.
Good job, Kim.
The format goes something like, after weeks of asking people in the quarantine a round of medical testing, I surprised my closest inner circle with an island trip. And then in the meme format, you post another image, which is not necessarily an island trip. Yeah. I saw somebody use a screen cap from Law. I saw somebody use a cover of the infamously bad and freaky role-playing game Rifts. Rifts is a trip, guys. Which I don't know what the implication was there. Whether it would be that you were going to Rifts or you were going to a private island to make your friend play Rifts. Both are equally bad. But, yeah, I think that's the current state of memes right now. But yeah, let's move on to our next achievement.
So, that's me. And unfortunately, Lucky's been juggling a lot of things, and he hasn't really made any particular progress or anything. But he was able to get his NP5 Shuten and all of her Ascension materials, and the Holy Grail, so I can officially check this event as done. I just need to keep punching points for hacking CEs.
Yeah, I need to actually look at the point list after this. I just got over realizing I also have gotten all the Shuten and the story done and stuff. Though mine is still not super high leveled. I think I've got her at like 60-something? 70-something, maybe? No, 70 would be Final Ascension, because it would be 70 to 80, wouldn't it? So no, not that far. Working on it, okay, guys? There's a lot of shit happening, and I used all the story XPs, alright? I tried. This event's a wild one. We'll talk about final thoughts later. But I need to check my points ladder, because I am punching points right now. Luckily, this means we don't have any All the World's Evil, so we will go ahead and leave Robin to write something funny there.
Good job, Robin.
And talk about, did you finish your master missions? Which you probably did. So, hi. I'm gonna need you to complete your master missions to defeat 15 humanoid enemies, defeat 15 demonic enemies, acquire 2 gems or statues of any type. This has to be battle drops. Acquire 4 gems or statues of any types. Do 5 quests with 1 archer in your party. And do 5 quests with an caster in your party. AKA, do the event. Just do it. Like, you can also do these other means, but if you did the event, you probably have already done it. I know I did. I think I did them, like, in one day, right away.
I think I have 1 left. I'm not sure which one it is.
I mean, theoretically, depending on where you're farming, the demonic one might be a little specific. Or alternatively, if you never did the... I did the Saber Node, because it's the best for popcorn, so that's where I had to bring a shitload of archers.
I do need popcorn, too.
But
like I said,
that's the Ferris wheel.
Like, so... It's not really all the world's evil, but Lucky got a wild hair up his bum, and because as you guys know, I have Seaton Eye, and her second skill is her arts buff, and I was just like, I need a Seaton Eye to hit harder, god fucking damn it, and in a complete and utter lack of sanity, I pushed that skill all the way up to 9, and I blew through a lot. I blew through like all my caster.
That happens a lot with caster gems.
Yeah. And I'm just like, now I have this 191 Seaton Eye, I'm all like, this gives me the fucking agita. This gives me hell of a fucking...
But do you have Vesper's NP2 level 81 Seaton Eye?
No.
That said, I gotta be honest, I think for most people, it really does not matter during this event. Like, obviously, it'll give you the agita in future.
Oh, yeah.
But externally, I don't think a lot of people care because, actually, I don't know if I've said that. I'm at 500% damage. So I'm like, nah. Did you equip a damage CE? You are my friend. I don't care. I think I could do this much damage with somebody who's level 1 at this point. Like, 500% damage is a hell of a drug. I'm not sure that should be legal.
I can't put Nez up. Let's put Ku in there. We just need to put Sad Ku because he's stuck on an ice lake with those 2 schmucks.
Poor Ku, stuck on that lake.
Fucking King of Heroes there with his gate of fishing rods.
I assume it's because you spent them all, Legendary Boss Hunter, which is just what happens. I also, like, I'm not as crazy as other people about stuff. I also still am almost like, why don't I have any fucking caster gems? Like, whenever I get some, they just vanish immediately. I don't know who's eating them. Like, some of them in the past, I'm sure, were eaten by Da Vinci, who I do have at least her battery skill to 10.
Yes, just Sad Ku.
It's
like the Keanu. It's just like the Keanu Reeves meme.
Mm-hmm. There's also that's another thing that we're getting a lot of. We're getting a lot of Keanu Reeves memes resurgence, but that's because of Cyberpunk. We will talk about those thoughts tomorrow on What's Up.
Oh, definitely, most def.
But that was Master Missions. Let us not faff too much because we have a fat back end on this.
It's fat.
Let's power into the news. News number 1. Interlude campaign number 7 is happening from 11/1 to 11/8, aka the moment Halloween Oniland ends. During this time period, you will have half AP on the interludes. There will be Saint Court's interludes added for Ku-Alter, Chiyome, Penth, Kato Danzo, and Hozo and Ichin. There will be skill interludes for Maeve and Yanking. Both of those are pretty important buffs. Cleopatra's finally going to get her NP interlude, so she can snake harder. Big snake. And there will be a summon banner, which is actually going 2 weeks, but whatever. Which includes Ku-Alter, Maeve, Kato Danzo, and Inchin. So, obviously, we're about to get into 1 million downloads with Abigail, which would be surprisingly popular. We're about to fire off with, the Aresh rerun, and then new Lost Belt banners. But, if you've got some courts that you want to spend, this is not necessarily a bad banner. There are 3 story locks on here. Ku-Alter is a beast. highly meta-relevant ever since he launched, and especially after her skill upgrades. Maeve is no slouch either when it comes to being an anti-male writer. Not that there are a heck of a lot of male casters, but, damage is damage. So just keep that eye out. We also have another small news note about NA. The pumpkin contest is over. They have shown the winners. They are cool.
They are very cool.
The number 1 winner was called Clefoth Rhizome. It's of Abby. It's very good, very detailed, including the keyhole at the back for the backlighting. Like a lot of levels. I do love the quote from Rie Takahashi. I didn't think you could put shading on pumpkins. Because no, this is I'm sure this is machine tool assisted in some way, but no, this is really good.
Oh, yeah.
They had some other runner ups. Senpai, would you hold my hand? I love Old Man of the Pumpkin Patch. It's a reified Gramps pumpkin. It's great, and there's also a Osakabe Hime submission, which is just her face, her little gremlin face, because she has a gremlin face.
The gremlin face doesn't mean I love her any less.
Yep. No. All right. So let's get into our big the biting news item today. Lucky, recently announced from Japan, more war crimes caused by FGO Arcade. They're doing summer stuff apparently, and gave Carmilla a full-blown costume.
Yeah.
Not just glasses Carmilla, which would already be a direct attack on me. But no, we've gone for the full assault, the invasion against our sensibilities, and given her a full costume, which we have discovered, we double-checked, is a reference to what was it called again? Was it Memorial? Yeah. FGO Memorial book where they got a bunch of little things together by artists.
Yeah.
So it's based on an art by Carmilla's artist.
Yep.
They're not... Sorry, yawn. They're not 100% the same, but they're very similar in theme. And some people have said, "Oh, isn't this just summer Carmilla?" I mean, yes, it's like a bikini cut, but also no.
If you I just finished the thumbnail. I'm gonna fucking post it to Omega,
sure.
But it's literally this art that you see in the thumbnail. Actually, I don't even know when this book came out. That's what I'm wondering now.
It says first episode, so that would, I assume, be anniversary of part 1. So maybe either first or second anniversary when it was actually, or that could be third. Third would be after it's over. I don't know. They do a lot of anniversary type things.
It says memorial, so. Oh yeah, by the way, Lucky was shook. There's a picture of Astolfo getting attacked by tentacles. It's just how fucking dare! I need this.
It's a wild book. Hopefully they do port it just like they did the CE book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so summer, it's similar to Summer Carmilla, but it's not the same. For instance, Summer Carmilla does not include heels and stockings. She's just wearing her little sandals because she's going to the fucking beach. Also,
what do you mean upload failed? Can Discord not handle tits of this magnitude? Fuck off. Okay, let's try this again.
They have exploded. Actually, I don't think that's anything that's ever happened. Technically, because we're a community server, it does keep an eye out for suspicious posts, but it's allowed all your previous thumbnails. I'm a little shook if this thumbnail is... No, we just posted a GIF anyway. So I don't know. I would be shocked if somehow this thumbnail is over the line.
Yeah, that's Ket's titties. They're just bouncing.
That's going to be very distracting.
It is very distracting. Random King, remove that.
We need to focus.
Listen, giant tits are opposites to physics, and they have their own gravitational field, particularly towards my eyes. Okay. All right. Let me open this up. Everything looks okay. It's not too big. Wait, can I upload anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't be too large, especially because you're a Nitro. I don't actually know if it would say upload failed.
No, it's actually saying upload to hand. Let me try uploading last week's here. Let me see. Yeah,
last week's works. Does it say why the upload failed? Just try it again, see if it's broken. If not, Lucky will have to direct message it to me.
Well, actually, yeah. Let me just try that. Fuck. Let's see. Omega message. All right, let's see if it'll let me work here. Yeah, it works there. So apparently, yeah, my fucking thumbnail is too spicy for Discord.
Well,
the power of Carmilla tits.
Yeah, I guess. Wow, that's weird because that's not really. I'm gonna be real. It's a great image. It's not that OP compared to other thumbnails we have done.
Oh no, I know what it was. It was the fucking mailbag rabbit. Clearly.
Obviously, yeah. All right. Anyway, saved. We'll see if it lets me upload my own edit later when I add the stuff.
We'll see. All right, now that I'm done with that, I'm gonna go play Genshin Impact.
That, or I'll have to put a seal. Too spicy for Discord.
If you If you do, make sure to put a black bar over Carmilla's eyes.
Sure.
Yeah!
That won't be suspicious to YouTube-kun.
Nope.
Though, hey, I put 2 FBI seals over Citonai last week. Admittedly, I covered up the actual FBI part with the friend point symbols, but still. We have fun here. We have fun. But yeah, so, Arcade continues to be doing stuff and having long event periods and is doing some summer stuff. It's also a complete mishmash. They're doing, like, Summer Hokusai and also, I saw Maid Altar in there. Like, it's just all over the place with what they decide to model and add. But yeah. I mean, it's a curious thought. I'm hopeful they add a lot of these costumes to main FGO. Obviously, I understand why it can be a trouble to do that for reasons. But, I mean, I hope they do it, because it's, like I said, it's not quite the same. And obviously, in gameplay, it wouldn't work the same, because animations. Normal-ass Carmilla has a different sprite than Summer Carmilla. That's how that works, guys. But, yeah. Okay. I think that's all our news. Hold on, how long did this take? It took about 20 minutes. That sounds about right. Yeah, it sounds like it's time to bust out this bag.
Let's bust out this bag. So, this is the time in the show where we are going to take an hour and read aloud question, comments, concern, complaints, and compliments from you guys. But unfortunately, since we do have a back half, we are going to put in our usual 1 hour time limits. So,
yes, we are doing Oniland thoughts. We're going to have a welfare corner. We have predictions, maybe, about next month. And I did do Teach Me Omega-sensei on phantasmal species, so.
Phantasmal! You're ready for that one. Alright, so I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, let's do it. Timer begins now. And our first one comes from the man who is both terrible at names and has no idea what he's doing.
Mood.
But they say, question. I guess I'm already terrible at coming up with questions, I guess. Anyway, my question for you two is, have you guys ever been surprised when rolling like a spook you weren't expecting? Like, for instance, I was rolling on JP Christmas Banner and I got Tummo. Sorry this question is long, and hope you two are having a great time. Realist talk, dude. Your question's not long.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that question was not long. We've gotten way longer ones that aren't even questions.
Nope. Second thing, I'm pretty sure we've answered this question, but I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah, I mean, I would say kind of the way we define spooks, almost all of them are surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got a relevant one, that's funny to tell right now, where, I think the most recent chance where I got, well, actually, no, that would have been earlier that year. Oh, wait, no, was that this year? Actually, that was this year, wasn't it? Hold on, math.
Yeah.
Yes, this year was, actually, no, it was the year before. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out Valentine's timelines. I think it was the first MHXA run of Valentine's, so that would be Valentine's last year, not this year, not current year. Where I like Lucky was desperately rolling some quartz for Echen, but not even on Maeve's rate-up day, I rolled a Maeve, and I was like, what is going on right now? I know you're in the pool, but you're not on rate-up. How? And also, speaking of some other stuff that'll come up since I talk about stakes and Aresh, when I was rolling for Aresh, I think it was within like my first couple 10 rolls, I got blasted by an Enkidu immediately. And Enkidu had to sit in the corner for a little bit. Had to sit in that corner. I don't know if that was really, I don't know if the Enkidu one was really, like, surprising, more just, like, annoying, bothersome. How dare you? How dare. Actually, no, I'll upgrade it. That was a full-blown how very dare.
Oh, no. I think my most vehement spook was definitely back on first Valentine's, rolling for Brandon, got 2 Fions. That was a special day. That was a very special day.
Listen, they can't not put that man on read-up without.
I literally think that was the day when Lucky started burning his soul fire, because he just couldn't. He just fucking couldn't, and he's been unable to stop since. So
it's all Fion's fault.
It is all Fion's fault.
So much for the Mac Cool.
Yeah, I still need to level him though.
Yeah, he's gonna be a bonus event on New Year's. I think he's actually relevant. That, and I think they've buffed like all his skills.
Let me see here. Yeah, but I think that's like it for like. I think if we're talking about nice spooks, I mean, I got a Jack on a Shuten banner.
It happens sometimes.
I do like my murder
We've
daughter.
definitely told this one before. I don't know if we need to like linger too long though. Hopefully, we answered your question adequately.
Yes, I hope so. So we're gonna move on. Thank you, the man who's both terrible at names and has no idea what he's doing. We're moving on to Secret Casino King Bun Bun. who says, Happy early Hallows Eve to you both. I wish you good weeks and plenty of tasty treats. On that note, I have a question for the soon-to-be high praise of Donatology Lucky. Which FGO gal would you use as a shining example of your new fave to bring people into said fave? Scheherazade. Probably followed by Raiko.
Yeah, Reiko's got that Bayonetta style figure.
Thanks, Raiko. And then, Nito, Shiba. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't know if I got a fifth.
I mean, this guy asked you for one and you gave him 4. That's pretty good.
I guess that's true. Yeah, so there's my answer. Thank you, Synchro Casino King Bun Bun. Also, Lucky would like to remind you, it is International Keys Curves Appreciation Day, so go appreciate some curves. Reminder, that's every day. We move on to the guy who couldn't comment for an entire month. They say, question, I don't know if this is allowed, but I'm just going to ask any noteworthy roommate dormitory experiences you guys had. These are reference materials. I mean, I got a story, but I don't know if I want to tell it when we have a timer.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. I don't, actually, by the way. I chose not to move into dorms, because that would be expensive, so.
I'll give you the cliff notes. One time, people thought my room was a bathroom so much that I got pissed off and yelled at them and put my machete through a door.
Oh yeah, you've told this story on a What's Up before. Just go watch What's Up instead, guys. just go back through the entire back catalog, all 100 episodes, until you find that Lucky story.
Perfect. So thank you, the guy who couldn't comment for an entire month. We move on to a masked man offering strange bargains. Who says, Dear Lucky Omega, in your Teach Me episodes, you mentioned how magic/magicraft diminishes and gets weaker because more people can understand how the world works, and thus lessens mystery. My question is if the more people part refers to just raw numbers from growing populations, or to a greater percentage of individuals caused by overall education. Hope you are managing the crisis the best you can.
Yes. The answer is yes.
It's both.
Yeah.
Like I said, one directly affects the other. But we won't go on too deep on that. We have many to go. So thank you, a masked man offering strange bargains. We move on to Zed, who says, comment. Oniland Pointlander complete, and Shoot the Caster complete. Now I just have to wait until Christmas and the Underworld rerun to grind the boxes and get rare prisms. Question. So now that we've come to the end of Oniland Stories, I'm wondering, since we won't be getting a new Halloween event ever again, what would your ideal Halloween event follow-up to Oniland be? No specific plot details needed, but who would you pick as a Halloween welfare servant, and what gimmick would you want the Halloween servant to have? Example, Atlante Welfare, theme, Universal Studios Monsters vs.
Yeah, no, really slaughter that one.
Yeah, sorry. Yokai in Takashi's Castle style game show. Listen, for me, like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It's not Halloween without a Liz, so I would definitely need another Liz.
Also, I gotta be honest. Bold of you to assume that Halloween is actually done, and that they won't do Halloween in, like, fucking January. Like, at this point, I'm not entirely convinced that Delightworks and Type Moon aren't taking the piss, as it were. So it's my first bullet point. But do you have a concrete idea?
No, I would like a Moon Cell Christmas though. Not Christmas, Halloween.
You could do some stuff with that, especially with the way the Moon Cell is. I mean, there's a So, Oniland kind of hits on a couple of tropes because it's got some interesting amusement rides, but there are some things we haven't necessarily, like, hit on, like, really. Like, okay, you had a castle, but we haven't really done, like, a haunted house thing, you know. We quickly left a lot of the Halloween.
You know what we need? What we need? We need a fucking zombie outbreak film. Oh my god, that'd be so great.
Well, I don't know. I think. So, weirdly enough, Summer has a lot of horror movie references, so I don't know. We might have actually... I don't actually know if it's one of the many tropes they cover in Summer 5. There's definitely... That's definitely the theme of one of the CEs. Also, by the way, once again, there's that other thing. Is right, like I talked about how they'd just be taking the piss. Well, it's not explicitly Halloween-themed, but Summer 5 is noted to have, like, you know, Summer Scares, Tests of Courage, and horror movie references. It's wild. That said, yeah, like, some classic spooky stories type, like, actually do the spooky stories type thing, like do a campfire circle, do the Salem style plays, but as spooky Halloween stories that you punch at the end. That could be pretty interesting.
Maybe get back into the
I don't know when we'll get it, but I know what I want. I want Elizabeth Japan. You got to remember to say it like that. She knows Japan. If you leave out the capitals.
Actually, I wouldn't mind, if we got into some, maybe, like, get back into some, like, pagan Halloween traditions. back to like fucking Sahin. Actually, I don't know how to pronounce it. I just know how it's spelled.
Sam Hain,
Maybe.
Beltane,
Mhm,
the great Haines,
mhm.
Wild Hunter.
Get some of that. Give me a welfare Abbey. I'm not just saying that because I want more small child. No, not at all. But Lucky glances at the timer. I think that's enough. So thank you very much, Zed. Just Zed. Food for thought. Or maybe even candy for thought. Candy. So we move on to a figment of your imagination. Bold claim. For all you know, I could be a figment of your imagination. You have no proof I exist. Fuck you! Anyway, they say, greetings, Lucky and Omega. My question is, what is something that you want to happen in game? Not necessarily a plot-related thing, but aesthetic. I want to hear the original Grand Battle theme for some important boss battle. Enjoy your day! But maybe you shouldn't be talking to a picture of your imagination. Bold claim. Again, bold claim.
How dare you?
How dare you?
I mean, I don't know. I'd love it if they figured out more appropriate classical pieces to work in, like they did with DSA Day.
Not necessarily a plot, but aesthetics. What do I want aesthetically?
Well, you know what you want aesthetically, but I think the
Well,
people know that one too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually trying to think away from that one.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure myself.
I think I guess this is more mechanics than aesthetics, but I definitely would like to be able to replay some boss battles. Because
that's a non-plot thing that would be interesting. Yeah, replaying certain story fights would be fun.
Because never again can I fucking punch Gadia or fucking fight Kiara or numerous demon pillars or such and such. There was a lot of interesting battles with a lot of interesting mechanics. Like, no longer will I be able to punch Tiamat in whatever form she has.
Yeah, no, and you can't. That means you can't do like test runs and stuff outside of certain memorial quests, which are usually very limited.
Like, it's
you can do them as much as you want, but it's definitely like, only this fight.
Yeah, no, like aesthetically, I'm a person. I like to go back and I like to honestly fucking talking about the grand battle music. The theme that they play when you're fighting fucking Gatia. What do they fucking call it? It's like Advent. It's like Advent.
It would be Advent Beast 1, probably.
Yeah. Where it's just pretty much the main thing, but it's orchestral. I'm just like, oh shit!
Mm-hmm. Yeah. FGO has good music.
It does.
Music is good.
It's cool. Stuff like that. But, Omega, you already answered, right?
Yeah.
Alright, then we are gonna move on. So thank you, a figment of you imagination. Lucky's debating. Last time this alias came up, I made a noise. But now I think they just want me to make the noise again. And I'm like, I feel like being contrary.
I mean, read below the text cut there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I did. I'm like,
Trying to make you do it.
They're trying to make me do it. You're trying to make Lucky do things. That's bad. That's bad, y'all.
Just silently make 50 air quotes. Can you make your fingers noisy?
Oh yeah. Actually, I can. Here, hang on. So this next one comes from Alias. I don't know if that pucked up or not.
I don't know if it'll stay in the edit, but it did pick up.
That was Lucky
actually,
popping.
Yeah, no, those will actually stay in. Those are some sharp pops and clicks.
Yeah, that's me cracking my knuckles constantly. Anyway, they say, you notice it's been quiet, a little too quiet in Chaldea. Who's the first 3 servants you look for? Either to protect or make sure they haven't gotten into mischief. Regards, he who hopes to hear Lucky's dinosaur noises again. No.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. If I've ever been quiet, a little too quiet in Chaldea, who do I go look for? Probably the 3 would probably most amount of sense. So probably Emiya. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't have a go-to plan, or think of I don't have I guess I would go find Tamamo because Tamamo was precious to me. I go find Emiya because he probably has a good sense in the head, and then maybe Jack because I'll be concerned that she might go murder stab someone. I guess. Maggie, you got an answer?
I mean, no, not really, because I don't. This is just one of those things where it's like, you know me. I don't always go for the weird hypotheticals. Who would I actually look for? I'm not actually sure. Probably Da Vinci for reasons.
Reasons. Honestly, if you want the most literal answer, you go find Da Vinci, Holmes, and fucking probably I don't know.
Mash counts. She's a servant.
Yeah, Da Vinci Mash. Yeah, you go find your fucking crew.
Yeah, I find the bridge crew and be like, hey,
what's happening? Is there a singularity?
Yeah, basically it's like, Da Vinci, what horrible shenanigans will we be doing now?
Alright, so thank you. Insert knuckle cracking noises here. I don't want to do it again. We move on to omelette du fromage. And they say, hey lads, hope you're having a good week. I have 2 questions. Greedy. 1. I know you guys wail on occasion, but how do you resist the urge to ol or don't on batters you generally have no interest in the beginning? I feel like that's kind of self-evident, but...
Wail's a strong word.
Thoughts on burnout. I've had quite a few people on my friends that have quit outright or taken a long break. So, number 1. Real talk, real as fucking talk, Lucky doesn't resist. He really doesn't. Either I want something on that banner or I don't. Like if I have like 1 copy of a servant, I'm usually fine. Lucky never ever has the urge to go for like NP5 anything. If I get NP5, it's literally just because of dumb fucking luck. I get 1 copy of the servant, I'm ecstatic. I get to play with them. I get to hear all their lines. We get to have dialogues. I get to do interludes, all that stuff. It's fine. So basically, once I have them, they're basically off my summon list forever. And if you guys don't know, Lucky has a fuck ton of servants.
Yeah. So,
and that's the thing. And on banners you generally had no interest in the beginning. Well, I had no interest in them. It's simple. This is a yes/no thing. So, I will say there have been occasions where I'm like, I really don't care about this character. But then I go and partake in an event or a story and I'm like, oh no, I love this character.
Yep.
And that usually switches me, but it's never been the banner itself. It's usually the character on said banner.
Yep.
For the second one, thoughts on burnout? Well, actually, Omega, do you have something about the first question?
Oh, with the first one, yeah, I've talked about this before. To resist the urge to roll is simple. I have future plans. I'm actually, at least when it comes to money, I don't want to say universally, but at least when it comes to spending, I'm fairly good at pre-planning. Like, I can look and be like, okay, I'm going to need to make this purchase in blah, blah, blah months. And it works the same with Saint Quartz, because that's a premium currency, even if it's mostly free quartz I'm saving. And just go, do I want to invest now in this, or do I want to invest in something I really want later? And usually I'm able to hold back and invest.
Meanwhile, Lucky has opened up his Amazon and he's looking at the Book of Adonatology and Dead or Alive Extreme 3 and being all like, I don't need this, but I really want this.
Okay, well, I mean, sometimes when the pre-planning falls through, like, it'll be... I won't talk about the details of the Cyberpunk thing, but the moment it got delayed, I was like, okay, well, there's $50 I don't have to spend next month. I'm gonna pre-order me some fucking Yu-Gi-Oh shit. It comes out next month, because my budget suddenly changed. Who knew? But yeah, no, with banners, it's just like, I'm able to go like, nah, I'm good. Like, that is a big benefit to the clairvoyance effect of being like, they very rarely surprise me with a banner, and even, honestly, the way I am, surprising me with banners usually gives me anxiety and pushes me away from rolling, because it fucks up my entire plan. So, like, if they were like, oh gosh, I don't even know. I guess it would probably be like surprise Musashi raid up on like the Thanksgiving. I would still be, unless that happened to come after Lost Belt 3, I would still be like, nah, I can't do that. There's something I know I want though. You can't do me like this, basically.
War crimes.
Like, yeah, there's a whole thing. But yeah, so burnout.
Yeah, so talk about that? Yeah, I'll go first. So with burnout, like honestly, I think it's because, for one, I avoid burnout because I don't really never ever consider it burnout. Either I just do my dailies for the day and play something else, or I have something to do in FGO and I'm captured by it. Like, burnout is like very weird for me. I never really get burnt out with games. I only get bored with games. When I get bored with games, that's when I'm all like, all right, I'm fucking done. And FGO has yet to be fully boring for me. I appreciate the break weeks. I enjoy the events when they come out. I love the story.
Yeah, I would say that probably means that for you, the boredom is the burnout quality of, like, if you did something so much it becomes just not interesting. Yeah, there are people who get actively exhausted of stuff, and I've definitely felt that before. I think I've talked about that with, like, Fire Emblem Three Houses, where just, at least for me, we and the community collectively went so whole wham on that game, and it involves quite a lot of hours of work, and I was just like, I can't just keep doing this all the time.
I could have, but they didn't give me a golden anything, so I said, fuck this game.
You didn't want to invest the time, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, people will obviously respond to burnout differently, and it's different forms, and some of them, like you said, he doesn't even consider when he's done with the game burnout. I don't know.
No,
I feel like you say that, though there definitely have sounded like times when I would have said you were quote-unquote burnt out over an event, but that may just be, as you say, your boredom of the rote repetition.
Well, like, yeah, usually, like, I'll never get burnt, like, even, like, I can say this for Oniland, like, I'm not a super fan of Oniland now that the fucking raids are done. I'm just like, okay, I guess it's just mindless farming.
Well, okay, so maybe you're never permanently burnt out.
Yeah.
There was definitely a period, I'm thinking of Apocrypha right now. There was definitely a period where after you went absolutely apeshit for like 24 hours straight, you were just like, what year is it? What's going on? Do I need to do more stuff? Like you were basically done with everything and did not care about that anymore and were not interested at all in like finishing out the currency ladder or anything.
Yeah, well, I guess that is true, but I still like.
But it was a temporary phase, right?
It was a temporary phase, yeah, because I was like, I literally had gone, like, I had no sleep. I had completed like so much, and I still went and farmed a bunch in that fucking event afterwards. I just had to take a break for a day so I could reset and try to figure out what the fuck I was doing.
Which would be how Lucky handles his quote unquote burnout.
Yeah.
Also, very interesting opinion. I'll have to say you're feeling burnt out of Arknights, even though Arknights wasn't doing anything for like 2 weeks until now, where there's an event. Maybe you're just bored of it.
Yeah, like I said, I don't consider it burnout, but like as I said, like I will say, like after a while, like all right, I'm done. Like I think I don't consider it burnout because after a while, if I get like actually start getting bored, I'll just switch games until I start getting bored of that one. Then I'll switch games again, and I'm back to the first game. I'm just like, all right, cool, let's keep going. Like as I said, right now I'm playing Genshin Impact. I'm playing it because it's one of those things I can play while talking to people at the same time. And I'm going to get everything I need to do for my dailies here. I'll be like, all right, I really don't want to do anything else in this game and waste time because guess what? I got other things to do and other games to do, so I'm going to go do that. I try to keep my interest fresh in what I'm doing and don't try to spend too long on any particular thing. It makes me, how do I want to say this? It cements my thing as, jack of all trades, master of one. I'm good at a lot of these little games, but I don't particularly put a whole bunch of super focus into one. I guess.
Yeah. That's another one is, like, even if you don't have the brain space or whatever to manage multiple gacha games at once, that's a good thing I think we've said before, because we get the burnout question a lot.
Yeah.
Of just, like, just rotate your hobbies, whether it's other gacha games, whether it's other video games, or whether it's just, like, hey, take a break. Instead of playing FGO while you watch TV, just actually watch TV or something, catch a movie, whatever.
Time management!
That's what I do, and there are times when I feel kind of like not into something, whether it's quote-unquote burnout, whether it's just like, they're not doing anything interesting to me right now, whatever. Or whether it's about the practicality. Like, I was thinking I would do some more Azure Lane, but I just fed it, I just did like logins and stuff and fed it cubes, because I'm like, I don't know if I can play the rhythm game part silently while doing the show. That might be weird. That's not a burnout thing, that's just, I'm not sure the setup is good for that. I'll poke the event when we're done recording. I could probably rotate to Genshin, but then I'd have to fuck with my audio.
Yeah, probably.
I'd have to readjust my seating for stream mode.
Well, can't you just like slap on fucking BlueStacks and mute it? Play something there. Like Arknights.
Oh, I don't have Arknights installed on my BlueStacks though. That's on my phone.
That's okay. Anyway,
it will eventually have to leave my phone because my phone is constantly yelling about storage space. But for now, it's on my phone. I actually like it there. I need to just remember to play it more in the evenings and stuff. Anyway, we'll talk about other gacha stuff, but the rotation system and the doing different stuff, and sometimes if you really want to avoid that burnout, you gotta ride the wave, right? When you feel yourself being like, ooh, I really want to do something different, whether it's because that old thing is falling out of vogue or just something new catches your eye, don't force yourself to be like, I gotta keep doing FGO though. Like, that's the thing that I think kills it for a lot of people, is when you make your hobbies a chore, it's just like why people are like, find work. You do work with something you enjoy, right? Because otherwise it'll get repetitive and shitty and you'll die inside. Do the same thing with your hobbies. Like, if FGO starts to feel like a chore and you feel like you really want to take off and, you want to play Genshin Impact, or, you want to, boot up that game on your PC, go for it. Ride the wave.
Go for it, girl. All right, folks, we're going to leave it there, and we're going to move on. So thank you, Homme du fromage. We move on to, I kept digging so much that I fell into Cur. That's bad, yo.
Rip?
Mm-hmm. But they say, hey, look at Omega, no question for this week, things that have been bad. Hope things are well on your end. Time to go plug away at more free quartz.
Oh, I hope stuff's been... I hope that turns out better for you. Maybe I should put some free quartz.
In the words of our Discord that is used constantly, dig up, stupid.
Dig up. Yep.
There you go.
That's what we do.
And in some actual voice, motherfucking fortify. I believe in you.
You'll be all right. You'll be
all
fine.
right. I believe in you.
That's, by the way, that's not me being condescending. That is what Omega tells himself constantly when he's in a crisis. You'll live. Suck it up. You'll be fine.
What Lucky tells himself, either I make it or I'm gonna die.
That's another good one. Listen. Either you'll live or you'll die. So, just do one. Thanks, Lucky. Great advice, me. Like he's just talking to himself in the mirror.
You'd be surprised how much Lucky talks to himself.
I mean, I'm not really, though, because like I said, I am definitely an audio person. I'll fill the time by talking. If people go out of the house for too long, I start talking to myself just to hear people talk. Mm-hmm. I think our cats are the same way. We turn the TV on for the cats at night so that they have people voices in the house so they freak out less because they don't think they can get away with shit.
You should check Lucky's Twitter and his weird collection of things he says to himself at work. I think it's great. They make me laugh when I read them.
I thought about making a Yu-Gi-Oh joke there, but I don't think it would have worked well.
Oh no.
Lucky doesn't know this, but I'll tell him right now. They recently introduced a preview of a new generic monster card, which is something Aresh Kurgametal. So it's Aresh Kigal. As like a real high power, hard to use boss monster. It's kind of funny.
Great. All right.
The cross contamination jokes. Maybe I'll make a dumb gimmick deck just to summon her, and I can be like, "Hey, Aresh and Yu-Gi-Oh!"
I feel like someone needs to draw some art of someone summoning her, and it's actually Arash, and she'd be like, "What the fuck?" I'm for this. I'm for this already.
Yeah, we should do the classic flip flop, like do the FGO summoning animation, but instead of the Saint Graph, it's the Yu-Gi-Oh card, and then do the reverse, do like an alt art where it's just Aresh. Ah wah 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 wah.
Ah wah 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 wah. Anyway, thank you. I kept digging so much I fell into Kura. We're gonna move on to Mood Charging Proto, and they say. It's been a few days later, and I've finished part 1. Congrats! By the time I type this mail comment, I've just started LB1, and it took me 10 plus 8 quarts to finish it. You madman. Now I'm just reeling in from story burnout. Anyways, good luck to the both of you. Good luck to you, man. You're going
ham.
If you're using fucking rainbow apples, Jesus.
Well, we don't know if it's apples or if it's for resets.
Well,
but if you're going apeshit, hey, do what you want.
Apeshit. You're going apeshit for AP, reset, something, you go. You go, Proto.
Yeah, I say, more power to you. This is just like when people say they power through our backlog. I'm like, ooh, well,
you powerful.
Good luck with that. Have fun. Yeah, good luck. Have fun. So yeah, I know that was a concern for you, Proto. I hope you do well. You can do the Christmas rerun now.
Yeah. So, yep, thank you, Mood Charger Proto. We're going to move on to Despair-Inducing Bear. Keck. And they say, Dear Ultimate Monster Girl fan Lucky and Ultimate Dungeon Master Omega, now that we've gone through Oniland with minimal damage to our ears, who are you hoping to find on the Da Vinci banner? Also, which of the current known Santa servants is your favorite? I'm looking forward to Santa Lucha-ne-sama. I also look forward to hearing about your China rolls. Until next mailbag.
Lucky, did you have a Freudian slip there, or was that an intentional edit?
Where? What?
The text I read is Thanksgiving banner.
What did I say?
Da Vinci.
Yes, that was a Freudian slip.
Okay, alright. I was just double-checking, because I was like, hold on a sec. Well, I think you've answered the question, Lucky.
Yeah!
There should actually be a Da Vinci raid up in here somewhere. When will it happen? I don't know.
I will say Da Vinci. Most likely Da Vinci. I've been wanting Da Vinci. I have rolled several times for Da Vinci. Have not gotten a Da Vinci. I cry. But other than that, I don't think there's particularly an SSR that's not, like, permanent. Like, I need me some Karna. I need me more Tamamo. I know I said I don't really care about, like, MP levels, but that's a small lie. I do care about Tamamo's MP levels.
Oh, yeah, because you're doing a thing. You're trying to perfect the Tamamo.
Yes. But, like, she can show up at any time, so I'm never really, like...
Yeah, it's always a little awkward with raid-ups.
Yeah, so I'm not.
Like I said earlier, if they surprise, I don't know if it's in the setup, but if they surprise me with the if they surprise me with the Musashi and Thanksgiving happens after LB3, if I had any quartz left, I might try, or I might not. I've blown a lot of fucking quartz on not getting Musashi, so I don't know how I feel about that. I'd have to, again, the clairvoyance thing. I'd have to look at the list. Mm-hmm. What we're actually doing for Thanksgiving isn't really on my radar because it's unknown. It's kind of one of the few unique things they do over here, where they kit bash a couple different banners together. So, squish. Squish banners.
Oh,
Also,
right.
I don't like the end of this. I feel personally attacked right now.
About what? What?
They're talking about China rolls.
Oh.
As a person who, Lucky will probably roll for stuff, but,
Yeah.
this, and obviously as you play the story, you might decide to roll more, but I am definitely the one, I think, out of the two of us who has been advertising I'm stockpiling for Lost Belt 3, so.
Mm-hmm. Soon.
Yeah, soon, real soon, probably. I don't we'll talk about it at the end. Let's not waste more time out of this.
Yeah. So thank you, Despair-Inducing Bear. We move on to Man Who Will Reach Curve for Thighs. Apparently... See, you guys are doing it too. Now that fucking Halloween's over, you're like, Christmas!
Yeah, they've done it. They've already done it. We're gonna skip Thanksgiving. We're gonna play Mariah Carey. It's done.
But they say, question, any servant you didn't expect to roll for seeing them before their banner appears? I'm going for another go. I'm gonna try for another FGO myself, charging my 2-year roll plan. Thanks again. Okay. Hang on. I gotta read this again. Any servant you didn't expect to roll for, seeing them before their banner appears.
Lucky, have you ever even thought to go further beyond? Because that's what this reads like a little bit. Okay. Either this is a repeat of a previous question about servants we didn't expect to roll before their banner happened, or because he talks about repeats, this is characters you didn't plan on rolling again for? I'm trying to parse. Lucky,
also,
thoughts?
bold of you to assume that I remember my fucking rolls.
Yeah, your rolls are your roll strats. Here, I will quote this for the audience at home, leaving out who sent it, so they too can parse this.
You didn't expect to roll for seeing them before their banner appears.
Yeah, there's definitely a transition they're missing.
Well, I can't blame them. I'm horrible with the words, too. Well, again, if we're talking about, what Ladder said, no, Lucky never really cares about rolling a servant after he gets them at MP1. If he gets them at MP2, it's usually because it's something, stupid fortuitous, like MP2 Satan because I need fucking event CEs, or it's because I'm going for multiple servants, getting MP2 Caster Nero on the Summer Banner when I was still trying to get... And then in just a case of, I randomly fucking just get permanents. Yep. Looking at you, MP5 Arturia, MP5 John, MP4 Waiver. How you doing, boys?
They came for snacks.
They did.
Yeah, no, theoretically, missing a servant does mean I have to, recontextualize rerun banners and stuff. Obviously, my great, not that it took me a lot of Saint Courts, but my great Summer 1 blowout probably influenced my needing to roll on that rerun, which did work out, and then I did not get really goo on Summer 2. I came out of that with only good old Summer Nobu, who, on the rerun with tickets, spooked me again. So yeah, I just had to take a loss on Summer 2 the second time around, because Summer 3 was around the corner. That I did okay on, even though I had to spend a little bit of cash to get Maeve, but that worked out alright. So yeah, I don't know. There's definitely some waggling.
Let's do that. Okay. So, thank you, Man Who Will Reach Curve for Thighs. I hope this answered the question. Anyway, this next one comes from the guy who exists, who has now been playing for FGO for 1 year. I need a fucking... What are those fucking little kazoo things you blow at birthday parties that go...
I think they're just called party blowers.
Party blowers, yeah, I need a fucking party blower. I need that as a soundbite.
We probably do just need one of those just so we can do sound effects.
Yeah!
And I need a hell kazoo.
Well, congratulations, you have made it. You're now in the big leagues, kid. But they say, hey, Lucky and Omega, I hope you're doing well. I have a question this week. If you could choose true servants, one male, one female, to wear one of those t-shirts with the card types on them, who would you choose? Hope your future roles are good, and everyone watching this, when it goes out to public, for them to have a happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Stay safe, everybody.
But by the way, that was not a 3 happy. Lucky just stuttered and couldn't stop for a second.
He had a repeat, like I did just then, and we had to jostle him.
Sorry,
jostle him? That's not even English.
Lucky doesn't have anti-skip features, okay?
Yeah, no, you gotta pay extra for the anti-skip. I don't know. There's a lot of fan art that covers this topic.
Seeing Ushi and Quick, always this is
the right. Ushi Quick one is very, very wholesome and entertaining. But also it's Ushi, so you feel like she's not wearing anything underneath the t-shirt, which is slightly dangerous.
Slightly dangerous. Also, if I was to pick male, I'd say Karna Buster.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy where Jinako would throw him in a t-shirt and he'd just accept it.
Also, I just want to see fucking casual t-shirt jeans Karna. You guys don't understand. Lucky's all about them ladies, but there's definitely some guys he's just like, and Karna's one of them. Got him. Do you have any particulars, Omega?
Nah, after the Ushi suggestion, that's my favorite. That's my favorite fan art subject. So I'm like, yeah.
We'll go on with that. So thank you, one guy who exists who has been playing FGO for 1 year and 2 kazoo noises. This next one comes from a madman scribbling furiously on a whiteboard. Either he is a detective or he's seen some shit. They say, hello, Lucky and Omega. Hope all is well during these bizarre times. This question comes after looking at Helena's, I'm not sure, FGO's profile a bit. Do you think Helena will have a more prominent role in the later Lost Spell? Keep up the good work and stay gold.
No idea, to be honest.
Yeah, no idea. From what we Lucky will say this on his own speculations that the answer is most likely not. Now, don't take this as, oh my god, Lucky said no. Please don't ever take anything I say as abject fact. But just the way that they've used Helena so far, she's usually a side thought or side character, or usually just some sort of plot token. Unfortunately, she was supposed to have this, she had this whole thing in fucking Agartha where she literally first lasted things. She shows up at the beginning and she shows up at the end, and that was it. In Summer Event, she was just one of the racers. While she did get some good screen time, she never really contributed integrally to the plot. And shoot, I don't think, has Helena really showed up anywhere else?
Yeah, she's a character in America, and actually she is fairly prominent because you see her at least more than you see Edison.
That's true.
Which actually, that's kind of my thought, is I would actually say a big resounding maybe, because she was a Part 1 featured character, and that is definitely a consistent Lost Belt theme, is to reuse Part 1 characters and put them in different context. They could definitely have a writer go, oh, we didn't really put a heavy focus on Helena. We could do more with her. Or they could not, because God knows what kind of events they have left. So I'm gonna put it in a solid maybe.
Maybe.
Just because she is fairly, okay, so, other characters have been fairly recurring too, but, consistently she has, she was in a summer, it was not a lot, but she was actually somewhat important at the end of Agartha. I honestly, I think almost the fact that they felt like they left her out was kind of it's a multi-stage joke, because one, it's completely a Deus Ex Machina, but that fits Agartha's themes perfectly. But also, it is about the hidden underground mountain city of Agartha, which she would totally be about. So it's hilarious that she got, bonked on the head and had to sit it out. But yeah, they could, or they could not. You could probably say that about a lot of stuff, but there are characters who have already reappeared in Lost Belt 2. I would be like, nah, we're probably not going to get another major story appearance by Beowulf, right?
Yeah.
They've already pulled that trigger a couple times. So yeah.
We will see. That's all I can say. So, thank you, Madman Scribbling first on a whiteboard. This next one comes from someone who's been trying to get Tamamo for 2 years. Pain, sir. I salute you. Dear Lucky and Omega, what do you think would happen if a servant or mage tried to use a reality marble inside another one?
This person actually just posted that inside the other one. So we've got our first edge case here, Lucky, and I'm interested to see your theory about it, because this comment has a reply, because somebody was reading them and figured out the answer to the question. So I don't know if you want to read that all out right away, because that's a reply attached, or if you want to be like, no, I shall not.
I shall not, because again, this is the segment for us to read. I'm not trying to sound like a dick here, but why are you answering someone else's question that they were asking us?
Yeah, because I could. I will tell this story. I have to fight this reflex sometimes. People ask questions in Mailbag, and I want to just jump in and immediately answer it, usually directly. But no, I save that energy for Mailbag. Yeah. That said, yeah, if you want to see the whole thing, it's there as a reply. But their answer is what I was going to say anyway, which is...
Yeah, I know, same. But it's just...
It basically turns into the usual contest, because...
Yeah.
They can't really coexist because of how they work. So, basically, one of them will be stronger and win.
Yeah. They will
Which is
fight
how most stuff in Naziverse works, really. I'm going to shoot a sword beam at you. Well, I'm going to shoot a sword beam at you. Well, either they're equal and are going to cancel out, or one of them's going to win.
Yes. What wears me out the most about this is they put it as, another fucking mailbag.
I don't know if they intended to accidentally tuck that in, because it's formatted like the mailbag question.
Yeah.
But it's also that, so yeah.
So,
well, you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
That goes in our list of unspoken rules.
So, thank you, someone who's been trying to get Tamamo for 2 years. I feel like I said something wrong there, but whatever. I wish you the best. I hope you get your own fox wife soon. But this next one comes from liberal Alex Jones taking the wrong meds. Alex Jones? Who is that?
You don't know Alex Jones? The weird
I
freak
might,
show
but
conspiracy guy? Turn the friggin' frogs guy? That guy? InfoWars?
Oh, okay. Now that I've seen him, I know who he is. Lucky doesn't know his name. I know his face, though. But they say, question, why can't I follow you on Spotify? We're not on there. Also, which berserker you be the best podcaster? Have fun and have good gotcha luck. Honestly, real quick, give me a fucking Tamakat Raiko cooking podcast.
That would be interesting, because I was going to say Cat too, because I don't know if she would be the best, but it would be funny.
Yes. I want a Tamakat Raiko, because Raiko would be very serious and doting, and real talk, I like Raiko's voice. I really do.
It would be Raiko's trying to do ASMR, and then Cat would just be like, what the fuck are you doing? Chop these carrots, how dare you?
She'd say something weird, and then Raiko would, have a fucking breakdown, and then Cat would be like, oh god. It'd be great. I feel like the energy would be there. Special guest Boudica. Occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. The Spotify question, yeah, we're not on Spotify. I admit I haven't looked at what it's like for Spotify, but unfortunately we've talked about this before. A lot of audio hosts, they want us to pay to host content, not the other way around, which is kind of a problem. We don't necessarily make that much money yet anyway. So YouTube and Patreon are very nice for a lot of free hosting. So yeah, we're not on Spotify. I could look at that if that's something you guys want. Nobody's ever said that before. So, but yeah, we're not on Spotify. I don't even know if we could be. I don't know what Spotify's requirements are.
If you want this on other streaming models, please let us know in the comments below. Ooh, excuse me.
Okay.
So, thank you, liberal Alex Jones, taking the wrong mix. This next one comes from Summon Summer Monsters in October. Last time was indeed a fine. Last time was indeed a phone type. This is when Lucky just pans to the camera. With that being said, say you summoned your favorite monster. What would be its summer theme? Favorite monster.
Yeah, I believe this is a commentary on a previous question about a summer monster, and then it got.
Oh, that's right. Now I remember it. I wish I remember what I fucking said.
Let's just go with dragon. It's a dragon.
I love dragons. Dragons are great.
Dragon bikini. Boom, done. Too hot to handle.
I remember, I think I mentioned Carberus and Scylla.
Listen, we don't know.
I don't fucking know.
I'm pretty sure it's a hard C, but that's really weird.
So yeah. They're already aquatic monsters. Put them in bikinis. Honestly, what is my favorite?
You can put a vampire in a bikini. Nothing's off the table.
I really wish I remembered what I said last week. I don't have the time to go back and look.
I'm sure whatever Lucky said that first time was his correct thoughts anyway, so just watch that episode again. And ignore the parts where we possibly berated you for typing weird.
Mm-hmm. So, thank you, Summon Summer Monsters in October. This next one comes from the Rocket Daddy Rocky Road.
Phrase it.
Pro tip. If you like Me, try the Panty and Stocking OST. Teddy Little Guy who did the Me did a bunch of songs.
The Panty and Stocking OST is pretty good.
It is pretty good. That being said, I'm gonna put that under shit I already knew.
File that under shit I already know. That's a Red vs. Blue quote. An old Red vs. Blue quote, which means it's good.
It's vintage. But no, Panty and Stocking is great. Everyone should just watch it. It's great.
Season the second, never.
Eternal cry. But their question, is there some aspect of a servant or gameplay you always remember incorrectly? For example, I have never once remembered that Ibaraki's Doji MP is a single target and not AoE. I blame repeated Rashomon events. Listen, Lucky forgets shit constantly, and it is only by the grace.
There are definitely times when I make this mistake, right? I'm just trying to remember the specifics.
Like, I can't give specific because it happens just so goddamn often. Like, I will quizzically be like, oh yeah, this is blah blah, and Omega will just be like, excuse you.
Like, there are times when we have both admitted we fucked up class advantage.
I do that all the time still.
It still gets me sometimes. Not very often, because not since they added the arrows to remind me, but still sometimes. Sometimes you just forget. I will forget what skills do sometimes. And occasionally I forget what servants or what card types or what decks they have. Like, actually, I was doing my research for Welfare Corner we do later, and I'm like, hey, does Shuten's like Buster Arts, right? She's got to have 2 Buster cards. No, that's a caster deck. That's a normal caster deck. That's all arts. Oops, all arts.
Oops, all arts. Yeah, but class advantage. Class advantage, I think, is a big one. I'll forget MP types. I'll forget NP fucking ranges. I'll forget lore. Like I said, like I probably read just as much as Omega does, but unfortunately, I don't have the fucking ability to retain information like Omega. So if it's not something I read recently, I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I've got a highly effective memory at retaining read information. But yeah, no, like the gameplay stuff and other things. It's really, even then, I still, even with lore, though, sometimes like talk about like aspects of a servant. No, that's definitely something where I'm like, oh yeah, that's about that, isn't it? Just because, oh boy, we're doing Teach Me today, okay, guys? Nasu's an animal. He's an animal man. His lore is confusing and self-referential, and also highly based on comedy, literal jokes. So sometimes you just forget shit, okay? You're just like, oh yeah, that happened. Whoops.
All right, well, we're going to get beginning that soon, so thank you, the Rocket that Eva Rocky wrote. We move on to Rules of Nature! And Metal Gear Revenge, it's 2 win.
Well, unfortunately, probably never, because fucking Konami.
Fucking Konami. Question, ahoy! If you played Among Us and Chaldea, which servants do you think would make for interesting crewmates and imposters? Hope the event grind hasn't been too rough. Cheers. Okay, listen, they're fucking servants, they're all bullshit. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, if you want to talk about purely the act of playing Among Us, like, there would definitely be some interesting people. BB is not allowed. BB is banned.
Yon King is banned.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about just, well, actually, no, he could fake voices, too, can he?
Yeah.
That would probably also not be okay. He could just turn into Tomoe and be like, I did it. That would be hella confusing. God, I'm just imagining. Yeah. I'm imagining the Among Us with like a pitch perfect impersonation. Ugh. But no, there's a lot of bullshit we have to throw out, but probably less than you'd think if they're literally playing Among Us. That said, there's still a lot of passive abilities. Arjuna would just be that asshole who constantly stumbles onto fresh corpses. He's just always there, you know? I don't think you can. I don't know if you would ban Holmes, just because, much like the event about him, you would just kill Holmes first every time. That's what you do with a detective.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm constantly murdered first. Everybody says I'm just an attack of opportunity, but if it's always me every time, is that really true? Anyway, yeah, like there's a lot of people who would be wild. I think, like, I don't know, like there'd be funny people to put in there. But there's almost 300 something servants. It would be a little crazy to run down the entire line. Lucky, do you have anybody, besides banning some people outright, do you have anybody you think would be particularly interesting in Among Us?
It might feel like a cliche, but Osakabe Hime and Tomoe, I think, would be, if we're actually like playing, I would definitely want the gamer girls in there. Also because I feel like Osakabe Hime's reactions and Tomoe's reactions would be great. Osakabe Hime just freaking out over this, using her, I don't even, what do we even call her fucking language?
Japanglish.
English knees?
Hey, I think it's usually called Japanglish.
Japanglish?
Or possibly, her high-level Elito English skills.
Yeah. Also, I kind of feel like Osakabe Hime would totally crack under pressure anytime you started, berating her about maybe she's the killer.
Yeah, she would break.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this has been a popular meme, because of course it has, guys. The Among Us.
The Among Us. Oh, excuse me. Who else would I be interested in playing with? Oh, God. Real talk. Realist talks. Fucking the Gorgon sisters.
Oh, yeah, no. Where Medusa's the third imposter, whether she wants to be or not.
And somehow, anytime one's the imposter, the other one is always the imposter, and no one can ever figure out why. And they keep
then they just blame Medusa and throw her into space.
And then they kill everyone, somehow.
Medusa was ejected. Also, I'm going to add to the ban list, unless it was an All Hassan's game, All Hassans, because they are professional killers. They would be too good. Also, their Zabanias would make great kill animations in Among Us. Just imagine the little murder bead reaching into your chest and crushing your heart.
Okay, I need to turn on my light. It's getting dark. Shit. Hang on. Lucky rolls away.
Well, anyway, while Lucky's away, I coined a new term for Osakabe Hime. I called it Hime-English.
Hime-English? I'm following this. What's the timer at? Oh shit, we only got like 4 minutes.
Pretty close.
Yeah, we only got 4 minutes left. How many do we got left? Too many!
Too many.
Alright, moving on. Thank you, Rules of Nature. This next one comes from, look behind you, it's Mystic Mind. And they say, Dear Lucky Omega, I hope my comment finds you, well, actually fluffy. I wanted to ask you about your thoughts if there's any servant who would become especially more powerful, lore, not gameplay-wise, by giving them one skill, barring Imperial Privilege. The obvious one for me would be giving Gilgamesh Eternal Arms Mastery.
Well, let me tell you right now, you fucked up. Because you only mentioned Imperial Privilege. There's actually like 5 and or 10 different skills which let you do other skills. It happens quite a lot, actually. Because sometimes writers are lazy. I think the answer, though, Lucky, would be fucking all of them. Everybody would be exponentially stronger if you could add one skill. Imagine if you could give Emiya Eternal Arms Mastery. Actually, honestly, Unlimited Blue is already almost like that, because you scan the knowledge, whatever, brains, scanning, future stuff.
Yeah, but then you could use it with not blades.
Maybe.
But we gotta keep going. So thank you, looks behind you. It's Mystic Mind. We move on to Shion, who wishes you well. Well, thank you. Greetings! Lucky to make. I hope it's all well in your world right now. What is your favorite cosplay that you have seen? I saw 2 banging Skahawk. Wait, no, that sounds wrong. I saw 2 Skahawk cosplays that were banging. Wait, no, that's still wrong.
Phrasing.
I saw 2 really good Skahawk cosplays at the SkyCon. I got to take a picture when I'm like, I am not worthy of being next to this girl right now. I am literally degrading her presence with my ugliness.
I see a lot of them on the internet, but I could not call one out because internet.
Also, shout out to the dude who played fucking Caster Kills. Your abs were amazing. I wanted to touch them. But we move on. Thank you, Shion, who wishes you well. We wish you well, too. This next one comes from an absolute saying, wait, I said that wrong. Next one comes from an absolute simp saying, yeah, hello.
Yeah,
who says, yeah, hello. Just wanted to follow up with chat last week, and who you guys think would be the best partner? To make an actual question, though, I will rule out the kitchen crew of Chaldea since they are the obvious picks.
Well, you actually should have ruled out Moriarty.
Yeah, I know, because I'm going to say Moriarty. Dashing old man.
Who was in that, not really a skit, but that brief moment in the PV? I think there was a Fran, and a Karna.
Of course there's a Fran.
And Mordred. Mordred would not actually be a good bartender. She would insult you the moment you asked for something fancy or required her to get a stool because she's short. She's a shorty.
Well, Fran is involved, apparently.
I don't know. She helped Fran.
Mm-hmm. There's a ship there.
There is. It's weird, but there is. There's some energy there.
It could be just a friendship.
I don't know. I would just want to say, I brought him up. Let's say Karna. Karna would be fun.
Karna would be fun. Oh.
We could also say Holmes just to mock you, just to spite everything.
This is the sound of us mocking you. I feel like I could come up with a good answer, but I don't have the time to. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to go with that and move on. So thank you, in absolute saying, yeah, hello. This next one comes from a man of wealth and taste. Question in honor of Spooktober. Which classical horror characters do you think would make great servants? Any horror writers, horror myths, or just general spooky fate shenanigans?
Well, so Poe would be terrifying.
Poe would definitely be terrifying.
Literally. Let's see, are there any other ones? We've hit a lot of the classics. We did the Actually, wait, no. We don't have anybody directly from Dracula. We have Draculas, but not Draculas. We could do some interesting things with Bram Stoker's Dracula. Would Bram Stoker be a servant? Probably. They defined a lot of shit.
That's the timer going off.
Yeah, it's the time. Lucky, do you have any other thoughts? Well,
I'm trying to think of like classic. We can't really use any modern slashes because they're heckin' modern. So I'm trying to think of old things.
Like, I think a lot of our, like, weirdly enough, I think a decent chunk of like Universal's Mummy Man tropes got transferred onto like characters like Nito and stuff who have weird, vaguely spooky curse powers that they shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you can shout out to your boy H.P. Lovecraft for Nito's mirror. Her assassin form is actually much more lore accurate, but not as spoopy.
Not spoopy. Like, honestly, like, the default is to, like, pull something, like, reach into the bag of H.P. Lovecraft, pull something out, but I kind of feel like that's a fucking cop-out.
That's already a theme, anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of pulling H.P. Lovecraft out of the bag, check out Storytime. It's got a playlist. It's cool.
Like I said, Lucky's still waiting for his sexy Onis on Ship to Gorath. No, I'm not just harping on Pochi's design at all. No, fuck you.
Hey, you never know. Pochi did a CE.
Pochi did do a CE.
First thing you're doing a CE, next thing you know, you're redrop and you've drawn a servant who has 3 completely different arts at 3 different ascension levels.
Wow.
Because you're a maniac, a lunatic, possibly multiple maniacs. R.L. Stein. Funny, but way too new. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like, honestly, I think FGO has hit a lot of the classic goth horror. Like other than the Bram Stoker stuff, or a real Carmilla. No offense to our Carmilla, she's great, but she's absolutely not the novella character Carmilla, which was predated Dracula, and also established the trope of lesbian vampires.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's like, actual Carmilla was actually a lesbian vampire. We don't really get that with our Carmilla.
I mean, she does eat young ladies, but that is absolutely the Elizabeth Bathory thing.
Yeah. That'd be cool to have a Carmilla alter ego vampire.
And have her be pissed at regular Carmilla for stealing her vibes. And then Carmilla's just like, I'm sorry, you stole my vibes. I wrote about you because I did a thing. And they just constantly fight.
I guess the timer's out, so I'm gonna faff on this. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Well, actually, so somebody said Mary Shelley, which, Mary Shelley. That would be weird. Like, authors would be interesting. Like, we definitely want to see the, because he's a character in Strange Fake, Alexander Dumas. Because we've been told that he would have an interesting relationship with, Dantes.
Yes.
So that would be weird to see Mary Shelley, author of the modern day Prometheus, aka Frankenstein's monster. That would be interesting. Though also, Fran's weird because she's got a lot more I would almost say like movie tropes than other stuff. Because actually, I mean, so she can't speak. Madison enhancement stops her, but again, shout out to OSP. The actual Frankenstein's monster is really just was really more of the like unsettlingly creepy and picked up language very fast, but was quite erudite. Where even when she's not a berserker, Fran still seems kind of like a goofball. Though I do appreciate that they did actually do some stuff with Frankenstein's monster was supposed to have creepy eyes. What they did with Fran is they gave her heterochromia, which could be offsetting. Because I think she's like one blue and one yellow, isn't it? It's weird, but yeah.
I literally just had a fucking answer in my head and I lost it. Why game?
I mean, I will totally ham it up for Mina Harker because of reasons. It's like that's the other thing. Like, I feel like classic Bram Stoker's Dracula, right, is rife for fate bullshit. Just because that's a story that like people read and took as the Bible of vampire fiction for so long that everyone was like, "No, I'm gonna write Dracula, but Dracula's a chick," or "I'm gonna write Dracula, but Dracula doesn't die at the end because he's not a huge asshole and looks like a weird lizard man." Seriously, no. Also, the Count Orlok Nosferatu shit is a lot closer to what the actual Count Dracula looked like.
Oh yeah, no.
Like he's a weird, creepy old foreign dude. But no, there's a lot of weird Dracula remixes out there. I'm quite surprised Fate hasn't done something with that one.
Oh,
did you remember your answer?
Kind of. Like, we have a lot of like fucking devils and whatnot. Like, a big one of those big horror story things is the story of possession. I mean, The Exorcist.
Yeah, there's a lot of possession stories.
I can't. But unfortunately, that's the thing is, like in The Exorcist, it's literally a Pazuzu. But how do you fucking represent that in The Servant?
Well, they've done weird things, but I don't want to get into it. But you could do some weird shit. I don't know if that works for FGO though. Like FGO does weird stuff, but usually it still has some semblance of rules, or at least requires a story requirement. I don't know if we ran into Pazuzu possessing somebody in a story and then punched them in the face, they could come back later. That would totally work. You could do some interesting stuff with demons.
Honestly, though, actually thinking about, I've been thinking about American. I mean, probably Japan has some wild ass fucking horror story characters.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, there's a lot of yokai. They're very diverse. There's a lot of interesting things we could do. Like they shouted out the Parade of 100 Demons in Oniland.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a lot of stuff they could do. I'm trying to think. We kind of unfortunately cast away the free shooter when we did the weird hybrid with Moriarty, but that was an opera. Okay, that's fair. That's not a full story. We've got Mephistopheles, but he's weird. What if we got actual Dr. Faust?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Actual Faustus, That's kind of a horror-y type story.
Actually, I think I just want the fucking Parade of 1,000 Demons as a servant. Just the whole fucking thing.
Oh man, you could do. Because guys, if you don't know. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy, so I'm rubbing my eyes. There's a lot of wild yokai designs out there, so you could definitely do some things with like different ascensions and designs.
I feel like it'd be something like Nursery Rhyme,
and there could absolutely Rhyme's another great one. There could absolutely be that. Oh, actually, speaking of classic stuff, we could. I know that's more fairy stories, but their versions are usually the wild ones. The Brothers Grimm, or just Grimm's fairy tales as a single entity. Those are some spookums.
Yeah, people don't understand. Grimm's fairy tales are really fucking terrifying.
Well, yeah, because they collected the German versions, so naturally.
They're metal.
Yeah, no, the German versions are pretty metal. They were also pretty adroit folklorists. I didn't know this, but again, OSP shout out. They Red did a video on the Wild Hunt as a Halloween special today, and a lot of her sources were from one of the Grimm brothers. I don't remember which one, but like they were legit folklorists.
Real talk. I think this was a movie, but the Brother Grimms were actually monster hunters. I would appreciate that spin.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That one was fun.
Yeah.
Where they were just like, they did Monster Hunter stories, and then they pretended, and then they ran into a real monster. Because of course. Mm-hmm. And at the end they were like, let's write a book. That's a pretty common one. The idea that like, oh, they wrote this book as a guide to monsters.
Mm-hmm.
You could do some fun stuff with that. Oh, actually, I got one more.
They wrote as cautionary.
We also need to move on sometimes. Mm-hmm. We need a fucking Wolfman.
Oh, that's
We've got vampires, we've got Frankenstein's monster, we need a fucking Wolfman in here. And not just Beowulf, who is a wolf of a man, like, actually a Wolfman.
Do we actually have any concrete legends about werewolves, like particular people?
Yes, actually.
Because I can't think of.
King Laocoon, that's where the word lycanthropy comes from.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's true.
He tried to feed Zeus his 50th son, and Zeus was like, you are now wolves. Oops, all wolves. I could put him in because we're planning on doing that next month do a fan servant thing. I could put that in the list, see if people want to.
Because that's right. Because remember, you did actually write about him in your.
Yeah, I did a rough concept on that one.
Yeah, you could flesh it out a little bit. But yeah, like, honestly, so yeah, Lucky, like I said, we're planning. Lucky's on this. We're gonna talk to give me a parade of 100 demons. Shit, they could fucking mix in modern demons in that too. I bet. Power of urban legends and whatnot. Listen, that's the weird thing. Japan still goes wild with their fucking urban legends. I don't understand how.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just their storytelling style. Like, the weird thing about, like, Ringu and the Grudge and stuff is, like, those are just onryo, just angry ghost stories, just recontextualized into modern.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Japan has crazy ghost stories. Trust me. I know.
Poor Hashaku-sama. One Shota, and her legacy is destroyed. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we will stop the faff there. And that's it for Mailbags. Thank you to everyone who wrote in. If we did not get to you again, I apologize.
We only missed a couple.
I said, copy, paste them, send them in. Maybe we'll get to them next time. But that is the front half. Now let's move to the back half, where we move into free talk.
Free talk.
Yeah.
All right, so number 1, in brackets, Oniland final thoughts. So, we're both done with the story, because we have Grail.
Yes.
So we have done the Oniland. If you have not done the Onilands, put candy corn in your ears. Boom. Cotton candy. Stuff it in there. Don't actually do that. You'll ruin your fucking cotton candy. Why would you do that, you horrible monster? Speaking of horrible monsters, how about that golden dragon guy?
Wild.
Also, love that sprite effect. Holy shit, he's so shiny.
He was so shiny!
Oh, they went the extra mile on that one.
It was like, no, this dude is golden.
He is gold. Cool.
Shout out to fucking Kentucky showing up.
Kentucky showed up, because of course he did, because Shuten was there. I mean, if we want to jump to the end, I love that whole sequence. Like, it was a little bit of a sharp mood swerve.
I feel like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like they maybe had too many people at the,
well, that could even have been part of the joke, right?
Yeah.
Because you and Sitonai and Ibaraki and Magi Fender and all that went off, but Chiome went with Blackbeard to go rally everybody, so I guess everybody was on double secret vacation in Oniland and showed up.
Yeah, no, everyone just showed up because, like, hey, everyone's going to Oniland, but, like, oh no, the master... It's like, oh no, my master needs us, and just...
Yeah, Chiome ran from attraction to attraction, declaring that master needed their help at the old abandoned mine shaft, and they just showed up. And then we punched Goldman. The important ones that showed up, though, was the Dragon Slayer Society.
Oh, yeah, no, fucking when first it was Sigurd, I was like, yeah, Sigurd, and then it was Siegfried first. Mm-hmm. And Siegfried, I was like, yeah, of course, and then Sigurd was like, oh, yeah, and then Bryn's in the background, I'm like,
I love that they did the fucking menacing shot of Bryn just in the back, hyperventilating.
It's like, there's 2 of them!
Danger. But yeah, no, so they did the whole setup, and then, they said the thing. Berserker's the strongest in the world. And
he showed up. That was great.
That was very adorable, yeah. Because Sitonai was even like, or Ilya, basically. She calls herself Sitonai, but there's a lot of Ilya in the pilot seat. Mm-hmm. Talked about how she had actually made sure that Berserker was not summoned to Oniland. and wasn't planning to run into it, but he showed up anyway.
I feel that's just the karmic bond there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
and he's actually the double secret story servant too.
Oh yeah, no, I totally use them. Like, he has this bad habit. It's like, there's an unknown servant, I'm totally picking him. I probably shouldn't, but I'm probably.
That's why you do it. The game only fucks you over some of the time.
But no, I loved it. But everyone else, I was kind of like, meh.
Well, yeah, it was kind of, I think you're right, it was a little too much. That was part of it. Like, it was a serious turn, but there were still a bunch of gags. I'm like, oh yeah, everybody showed up. Maeve's here, she's fine. Blackbeard's here, everybody's here. All those guys, they're here, everybody's fine. Yay, we're all friends. I mean, I guess that could be part of the thing, because a lot of the concern for, like, that was a big angle to the immediately previous segment with, Liz, Japan! She knows if you're not saying all the caps. Where, like, she talked about her soul-crushing loneliness. It was very sad. Also, I guess the people of Hokkaido were just assholes. But, like, it is cool that lots of people showed up, bonds of friendship and all that. But yeah, it was a little excessive. But still, they had the Dragon Slayer thing. It was cool. We punched a dragon.
Much Kamui Gold.
Yeah, we did the gold, we did the transition. There's the whole, Dragon Slayer squad moment. That's great. That's a brand now. And then Seatonite disappeared and wasn't recorded or something, even though she's now added to the... It's, like, I feel like they were trying to explain it, but it still just gets more confusing.
Again, I go to my default is if you meet the master, you are recorded on his fucking bond and you will be connected forever.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that she goes for the skip of like, oh, I'm not gonna, like, because this is supposed to be happening in the past, maybe? Like, she's not recorded yet, but they still, it doesn't feel like a second meeting when you run into her in Lost Belt 2. It's really weird. And I don't even remember a throwaway line about like, oh, we'll forget all about that Oniland. So yeah, it's like full-blown alternate history type stuff. Well, yeah, it's right after Summer 3. Chaldea's exploded right now, Robin. It can't be in the present.
Again, like, this is one of those things about where, like I said, they, like, yeah, you actually forget, but do they? Or do you?
I don't know. Like, I don't think they referenced that anybody would actually forget Oniland. If they did, it was very fast. So I'm like, I just, other than just it being kind of, like, weird that they go for the angle. It's not, though. It's not after Lost Belt 1, because it can't be, because there's no Chaldea. You cannot go to the globe thing. Anastasia blew it up.
Much frost.
So yeah, it's weird. And I can accept kind of the idea of like, oh, well, you maybe knew Salieri or could have thought of him, but also it doesn't, like, again, it's a weird case where they're like, events are happening in a separate timeline or something anyway. Like, I actually, talked about that kind of a thing.
Clearly, it's just on another world line, and you're all just connected. Somehow,
but yeah, it's an interesting ending. Like a lot of people had the sudden feels, which I'll admit, like I said, was a little bit of a mood swerve. Wasn't expecting it, but still good. As predicted, the Vermilion Dragon was actually Liz the whole time, in a great costume. Where the fuck is my costume? And some people were like, "Oh, can we do an alternate servant?" She's still a Lancer, so it's just a fucking costume. But do it.
Give me a costume.
Regular Liz doesn't have a costume. You can do it. It's okay.
It's fine. Just call it Elizabeth Japan.
Yeah, you got the thing right there.
Boom.
And it's a good look. Like, Wadarko did not skimp.
Wadarko does not skimp.
It's pretty cool. Like, I love the style. She's got the weird, like, I don't think they explicitly mention it, but it's kind of that, like, baby metal type vibes of, like, hardcore Japanese, like, punk rock kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where it's got Japanese elements, but also has got, like, clear punk rock type stuff, which is a little different than how Liz usually dresses. She's much more usually, like, EGL. This one a little more hardcore on the goth aspect. Cool. Spike bracers. Brutal. Yeah, pretty good. Do we have any other Oniland thoughts?
Not really. I'm working...
We should mention this mechanically, because you talked about like being an exciting thing or a thing that interests you. Do we have anything we want to say about the raids?
Not really. Well, I guess that's a lie. I guess a little bit. They lasted longer than I thought they would.
Yeah, a lot of people were thinking they'd be like APOC and be over instantly, but I think they lasted a solid 24 hours throughput.
Oh no, I think they lasted like a few days. I think
it would have started at like 8 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, shout out to the person who said...
30 hours, okay.
Oh, 30 hours. Oh, okay. Shout out to the person who mentioned that the weird time was to mimic a Saturday morning cartoon, because I'm like, that's totally fucking it.
Yeah, I think that thought crossed my mind. I don't know if I said it, but that's definitely like, once somebody else said it, that was really like, yeah, no, Saturday mornings. Because I was like, I don't even know when the fuck this time is. What time is it actually? But no, it's 8:30 in the morning Pacific, so it's a Saturday morning cartoon. Duh. And Shuten doesn't crush Ibaraki's dreams. Very important.
Very important.
Though when you get her permanently shoot, it's just like, nah, I'm gonna stay dressed like this for a while. This is funny.
I'm like, me, I was just like, that's very Shuten.
That's her. She's having a great time. Also, hey, who could... Oh no, the small creature was the villain the whole time. Who could have guessed?
I was sussing the entire time.
Yeah, of course. You
I
never trust
sorry.
a weird small creature in Magical Girl anime.
I'm sorry. I did that. Everyone knows the moment I stopped. Just like, nope, never again.
And then she recreates it, by the way, because she needs a sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
She just makes a familiar. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Next year when we do the rerun, I'll enjoy it again. I'll have MLB fucking CEs and much more level servants, so I won't.
Yeah, so that as we took so long last week fucking parsing the way the damage bonus works, it's really weird and doesn't always help.
Yeah.
I've seen that conversation about several servants. I've seen people running suboptimal CEs. I've had to make my own decisions with CEs. Occasionally I would use Fran because I have an MP5 Fran, but then it's like, okay, do I give her the quick one so her NP actually does stuff? Or do I give her the Buster one so she can actually clear waves, right? Like, it's a whole weird process that I kind of wish they just... even if it was only on select servants, like, I really wish they'd just given us flat damage bonus and not tied it to the card CEs, because that made certain interactions really weird. On the other hand, I said this earlier, I'm at plus 500% now. For this last stretch, if I actually want to push through it, because I got all the CE copies, but there's some mats in there, so you never know. Might get that lore just for bragging rights. But hey, it's fucking not rocket science anymore. It's literally just use damage type cards, it dies. Like, I stopped having to use buffs to clear waves. Just do an NP at 500% damage, the thing dies. On the other hand, I do actually feel like I'm not going to get that kind of damage bonus fatigue, right, Lucky? Because the mobs in this event were so beef.
Oh, yeah.
When we go back to normal numbers, like for interludes and stuff, I'm just going to be like, no, this is right. This is correct. This is the damage I should have been doing.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that bugs me most, is the mobs started off beefy, but your damage was not.
And you very rapidly rose to that. Like, the first couple maps, okay, they're kind of middling, but they very rapidly rose to the full beef, and it was like, game, you're not feeding me enough CEs to keep up with this.
This ghost just destroyed my entire life.
Rip.
I have to withdraw, because I'm not spending quartz on this. Fuck you.
Fair enough.
It created me like 3 times in a row, and I'm just like, why?
Rip. Fucking ghosts. Alright, well, I think that's all our Oniland thoughts.
Yeah. Again, I hope they revisit some sort of Halloween event and give more Liz. But other than that, yeah, that's it.
Okay. I think before we get into our last couple bits, let's take a quick intermission.
Right-o! He's ready.
And we're back. Alright, so our first segment, now that we're back, will be Welfare Corner. I did this like 2 months ago, so I don't remember what the jingle was.
We had a jingle.
I definitely sung a little song, but it's lost to me now. Maybe we'll make an edit sometime and remember it forever. Anyway, Welfare Corner, Caster Shuten. Heaven, Hell, Earth, blah blah blah, Magi Defender is here. Are you ready to beat up assassins? Gosh, I hope you are, because Caster Shuten seems tailor-made for this. It's like the game realized after 3 years, oh geez, we don't really have a truly dedicated offensive caster that everybody has. And even then, she's got some different stat spreads over some other units, so yeah. Well, let's jump into my first bullet point. As befitting an offensive welfare caster, Shuten flat out has the highest attack among 4-star casters. Just straight up. She, in fact, has more attack than Scheherazade, who is a 5-star caster. So, yeah. In terms of casters, she hits the hardest in her rarity slot. Now, in exchange for this, she has the lowest HP. Jesus. Like, of all 4-star casters. Like, the list immediately in HP goes immediately Shuten, Babbage, who has the highest 3-star HP. There's still going to be a little bit of gap between them, but yeah. She pays a little bit of price, but hopefully you don't need it. Hopefully you really don't need it because she has no hard defenses. Anyway, assassins, they don't hit hard.
She is all attack.
Yes. Now, she does have a caster quick arts buster deck, as I mentioned earlier, which makes her kind of hard to use in this event, ironically. Because if you give her the buster one to make her NP good, you don't make her arts cards good. But if you give her the arts one, then you don't make her NP do that crazy amount of damage. But anyway, she does still have a well-rounded 4/4 to 5 hit counts. 5 is the extra attack. An average NP gain. Pretty good overall. And in fact, I think they might even have given her a little bit of a nerf in the NP gain, because she's got a territory creation, so those arts cards really pop. So her NP, which we mentioned before, is just a big multi-hit buster to a single target. It's focused on clobbering a single enemy, and then drops them with some poison damage based on OC. And as a little extra hint, it does give her sure hit first to deal with those pesky evades, which our assassins do like to do.
They do.
So you never have to worry about that problem with Shuten. She pops sure hit, she does a lot of damage, she drops poison. Starts at 1k damage at OC charge 1. Since she is a welfare, it's entirely possible to get extra levels of overcharge without even needing to go into NP chaining. And you can get some pretty decent damage over time, but that's really just the spice. That's not the main course. So her first skill is a 1-turn NP seal, and also decreases the target's crit rate by 30 to 50% for 3 turns. This is her only real defensive skill. It's not a hard defense, but it will stall out of NP. Assassins do have short NP bars, so this is good. And the crit rate down is pretty effective. Again, you're usually going to be using her for punching like assassins or maybe berserkers of a certain type. Either way, you want to make sure they're not critting you, hopefully. So it's a decent stopgap. Her second skill, Break Rod, gives the usual 20 to 30% for 1 turn for dual class skill or dual card skills, which is Arts and Buster. So it gives you your Arts Steroid and Buster Steroid. And also increases her star rate for 1 turn. Now, obviously, you're going to need somebody else in there to generate those stars. That's something that you need somebody to go with. Like, honestly, I think the only caster off the top of my head, at least in the similar rarity I can run into, is, I know Caster Liz has Innocent Monster, but she's ancient. I guess Hans has his own Innocent Monster that gets upgraded.
Yeah.
That's probably a good wombo combo if you're going budget.
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously goes well for welfares, because they are free to play. But yeah, you'll need somebody else to definitely help her with that, but it helps round out the whole thing. It's obviously so you can do big NP steroid, and then, hey, guess what? No matter what, you can't do a Buster Brave chain with Shuten. So, they give you the next best thing and also give her an Arts Steroid, and maybe you can even start building towards a loop if you get those sweet Arts crits in. Her final skill, Oni Protect. That's not the actual name, but that's kind of what the name is. It's a charisma, but also gives Shuten specifically a 30 to 50% bonus damage versus demonic. So it's like demonic power of the Oni, but instead of the normal Oni-ness, it's Protect. So, gives her a trait damage and gives everybody a 10 to 20% charisma attack buff. Pretty decent. This means if you have all 3 together, Shuten is rocking 3 different attack buffs. She's got bonus damage, she's got raw attack increased, and she already has a very high attack. And she's rocking her card upgrade. If she actually crits, just give somebody to give her some crit effectiveness. Hey, what does Hans do, everybody? Crit effectiveness up. Quite good. So, yeah, you can definitely work together some heavy damage, and you will punch some big bossos. Let me flesh this out. This isn't in my notes, but I want to look who actually has the demonic trait among servants. Let you know who gets that bonus. Heck, I can even do...
Wait, does that mean that Shuten's real good at punching herself?
Yes. Yes, very much so. If you ever need to bully yourself, which makes sense, she's an Oni. Caster Shuten is the Oni who bullies Onis. So,
actually, that makes sense for her character.
Demonic, that'll obviously be your Ibarakis. Kyokoyo in the future. Both forms of Shuten, so yes, she is good at bullying herself. Future Summer Melt, and also Tomoe, and a character we won't talk about because that's probably a spoiler. But it's a small slice. It's much more common on NPCs, which would be a big list. But yeah, fairly good at punching dark, monstrous creatures. So yeah, it's a decent spread. It's 100% if you ever run into Shuten as a boss, bully her. Hey, if you guys haven't done Shimosa yet, because those are all optional.
Yeah, but doesn't she become a writer in that?
Is she a writer in that one? I mean, you'd still get a lot of bonus
damage.
No.
Doesn't Raiko become the writer?
Actually, that's right, because it's Berserker and Writer.
Shuten becomes a Berserker.
Hey, that still works.
Yep.
Now, obviously, you're going to watch out, because Raiko is going to want to bully that magical Oni really hard, but a strat. Think about it. That'd be pretty funny. So her passives are Territory Creation B, Item Creation B, and Divinity C. So she gets a little bit extra bonus damage spice, and her arts cards are more effective than you think they are. Also, her debuffs do stick a little bit better. So yeah, all in all, this is actually really good game design. It's kind of shocking it took them 3 years to do this with the friggin' caster welfare, because there have been several. But this is like, yeah, no, oh, wait, we know what you want. You need to punch assassins, that's right. Well, this works. And boy, will she punch. Her NP is a hell of a trip. Have not seen the Ibaraki variant in person. But yeah, I think that's everything. Like, Caster Shuten's pretty straightforward. She's a caster, but she punches things, so use her appropriately. I have to finish leveling my own and work it out.
As soon as I get done with this point ladder, I'm going to go to the Ferris wheel.
And of course, there is also the...
Actually, that's a good one. Did you mention, how many points are you up to, Omega?
I'm at 1.5 million.
Yeah, I'm at like 1.2 million.
If you can do the mine, it's not that hard, but you gotta... Obviously, I spent a decent amount of time farming mats to get all my Shuten copies. But, because you need those NP levels, because you want that to slap. Alright, well, let's transition to our new near-future observation lens.
Rens.
This is not a good sign, Lucky. I have to talk a lot more. Well,
I mean, I could talk, but...
Do you want to read my beast notes?
You want me to?
No, let's not. I mean, you can read this bit if you want, though.
I will read this
bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some water while Lucky reads.
Yeah, let's let Omega rest for a second. So, near future observation, Lin Shiba, November edition. So, as everyone knows probably right now, we're starting off November with the Interlude campaign. We already mentioned everyone up again earlier. But after this, we may be getting 15 million downloads, which will be the Abigail banner. I think there's also a little bit of quality of life in there as well. Don't remember. But
I think we got the quality of life that was already in it, but they like to give us quality of life ahead of time, so
yeah,
there'd probably be some kind of update.
Yeah, but this is where we're going to get login rewards and an SR ticket. But this also could get pushed to Thanksgiving. We have to remember November is that little nebulous time where things get a little wonky. There will be the Christmas from the Underworld rerun at some point, and Lost Belt 3 will definitely be happening. Everyone prepare.
Yeah, the Underworld rerun should happen first, but again, like we said, we really don't know how they're going to do what. Alright, water equipped.
Water equipped.
Okay, look at the clock. Still a hair under 2 hours. Okay, I will now teach you. I am Omega-sensei. I will teach you. Everybody got it? Okay. So, the topic as picked by our patrons this month, consider joining our Patreon when the month rolls over, we're going to talk about what are phantasmal species. Or what is phantasmal species. I'm still not sure about the grammar myself. It's weird. Anyway, the short answer, after which you can immediately turn this podcast off, but please don't, is that phantasmal species are any non-human species described in legend or fantasy. There you go. There it is. Mic drop. Let's go. No, I'm kidding. But also, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, it's got a really basic high-level definition. Now, in my research, I found a really flowery and purple description of how we get to phantasmal species, but I'm going to give you the Omega Facts TM short version. So basically, to get a phantasmal species, Lucky, you're going to want to have something which mutates or evolves from its original form for reasons. Creatures invented by humans, so something that definitely didn't exist, but humans were like, what if a horse breathed fire and had snake legs? Snakes don't have legs. Shut up.
But what if?
And then, lastly, creatures which ascend to a higher level of existence by living a long fucking time. This is pretty common in many cultures, but especially in the East. The idea that, if an animal hangs around long enough, it'll achieve enlightenment and get super cool powers.
Fuck, that happens to fucking objects.
Yeah, no, like, that's... Which also, by the way, because of other weird definitions, could totally be phantasmal species, by the way. Because that's a thing that defies normal biology and is legendary. Wild. Yeah, you know that, the umbrella guy? The umbrella with an eyeball? Phantasmal species. Anywho's, all of these things are allowed or powered by mystery. So basically, the what-if gap exists, whether that's what if something could change, what if something existed, or what if a fox lived a really long time and grew 9 tails. Oh no.
People will be like, I don't understand this, and they're just like, exactly.
Yeah, basically. Listen, we're gonna get down there in the goo, and you'll see. It's wild. There are also some phantasmals created by the world, not humans. We'll touch into that one later. I would also like to clarify for everybody, phantasmal species are not demons. That's a whole nother topic, which is probably not long enough for Teach Me, but is still somehow that convoluted. I might have to do it. Just know that when I say demon or demonic beast later, that's different from demons. Learn the
Demons.
Japanese.
Demons.
Literally, we're using different words here. In Japanese, this would be daemon is akuma, like actual evil creatures, and then demon or demonic beast just uses the word ma, which is like weird or magic thing.
Okay.
So, phantasmal species are not strictly ranked, but do tend to be classified by type, some of which are ranked. It's wild. You want to look out for some classifications you may have seen, such as magical or demonic beasts, maju, or demi-humans. That's another common classifier. We're going to dig into these later, but just know that there's not always a strict hierarchy of phantasmal species, and sometimes their classifications can overlap, so they tend to be more general. A theme, though, is that phantasmal species do, however, get more powerful as time goes on, and a lot of them have been around since the Age of Gods, so they are incredibly powerful and much more developed than most systems of magecraft, which are only hundreds of years old in their current forms. So, we're gonna touch on that one, I think, back again later. But yeah, so basically, they're older than magecraft, so they strunk. Big strunk.
Puny mortals.
So, first of all, let's talk about the most common classification of species, are magical beasts, which includes any creature which defies our scientific explanation of life or species and generally cannot be categorized by science and must be categorized by magic. Don't you just love that explanation, Lucky? Oh yeah, it's just something that science can't explain. Fuck.
I mean, honestly, that's how we do it anyway.
No, it is, but it's just like, the literal definition of a magical beast is just, can't be explained. Alright, okay, fine, great, thanks. So, these do actually have 3 ranks which do progress. So, demonic or monstrous beasts, which by the way is uses the exact same character as magical beast, Maju. Thanks, guys. Yes, that's right. The whole category and the lowest rank are literally the same word with the same characters.
Oh, it is the same characters?
Yeah, no, I double-checked. It's literally the same characters. I'm using the split between magical beast and then demonic beast, which we've seen a lot to save you the trouble, but it's a rough one. This can make some of them very confusing. So, anyway, demonic beasts are the lowest rank. They tend to be the least powerful, the crudest, and the closest to real animals, like demonic boars or winged horses. They're basically like, you see one of those and you're like, oh, that's like a magic animal, not like a crazy superpower animal. The next rank is phantom or phantasmal beasts. The term in Japanese is genju, so like illusion beast or something, probably if you're being literal. These are mostly composed of demonic beasts which have ranked up by acquiring new powers or knowledge via their longevity or other self-empowering circumstances. There's not a lot of records I can find of phantom beasts which exist in just this zone naturally, right?
Right.
Like, most of them are like, okay, so this, when they do this thing, they count as this rank. And the last rank, which is another one you've probably heard a lot of, is Divine Beast, Shinju, which is comprised of magical beasts who have been around so long they gain divinity, animals which are basically divine constructs, or anything that is basically so strong it is on the tier of a god. Some of these have been compared to being super weapons. Typhon, for existence, that guy is a divine beast and is basically just considered a living weapon. Similar for like the concept of Leviathans, Moby Dicks, etc. It's wild. So, divine beasts are a big deal, and you've probably seen a lot of them. Think Gulgana, the Bull of Heaven. He is definitely a divine beast. Now, interestingly enough, phantom beasts, which are 1,000 years or older, millennium ranked, or divine beasts, are so powerful they're basically on the level of capital M magic, which means they are fundamentally, basically impervious to magecraft. Jesus. This is one of those straight up older is better things. So if you're a divine beast, you're basically bulletproof. This is actually noted in Fate Stay Night. Medusa's Pegasus has a higher magic resistance than Saber does, and Saber is already basically bulletproof to Medea's spells, which are Age of Gods class. It's wild. Like, so these guys have so much mystery, they are basically magic. Which is why most of them have fucked off to the reverse side of the world. Now, interestingly, I'm going to reverse this note, but interestingly, monstrous beasts, demonic beasts, can still exist in the world. They just tend to exist in lands humans haven't or can't get to. Lost Worlds, anybody? So yeah, there are certain types of demonic beasts which still exist on the surface of the world. That said, anything that's Phantom Beast rank or higher have usually moved on to the reverse side or died out, basically, because they can't persist. It's another little fun fact. So there's another broad category we mentioned earlier, demi-human. This includes phantasmal species which are distinctly humanoid or have human elements in their bodies. This is stuff like giants, elves, dwarves, etc. Demi-humans can also be classified as various types of magical beasts depending on what their makeup is. So, for instance, your boy Asterios is a demi-human and is also a demonic beast class, because that's the parts of him that are not human, are demonic beastie.
Actually, quick question.
Yeah?
Do some gods qualify as, like, demonic, like, or divine beasts or whatnot?
Probably. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there are some magical beasts which gain divinity, so you could have a... This is another weird thing. We'll see this in the next bullet point, but technically divine spirits could be considered a kind of phantasmal species. It's really broad.
I guess because I'm just, like, wondering, like, because thinking about, like, Fenrir and the fifth Midgard serpent, they're actually kind of...
Fenrir would definitely be a divinity who would be a divine beast, right? Because that is the child of a god who is also a beast.
Yeah.
Chiron is a centaur who are a demi-human species, but he's also had divinity, so, there is definitely some overlap to all of this.
Okay.
So speaking of which, let's talk about the transcendent kind.
Oh.
That's right, they're called the transcendent kind. So, this is the category which includes those things which are created or authorized directly by the planet and are often its agents. So, this includes high-level spirits like divine spirits and elementals. We've done those already, but they're in this category. And also high-level vampires like true ancestors and other certain definitions, dead apostles. Now, we're going to table that for now. We're going to table vampires.
I keep saying we need to make it a topic.
We probably do, at least like dead apostles. The problem is, like, I should double-check some of this lore, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a whole nother thing. But also, I don't know how much of it is applicable to Fate, so... I want to, much like how we put a hold on, like, some of the Beasts and Lost Belt stuff, I want to put a hold on this until I see how the localization and the actual text body handles a couple of upcoming events. I'm not going to be specific because that would be spoilers, but I do know we have a couple of things which maybe get into some of these neighborhoods. So I want to see that first before I jump into this, because this is definitely a thing that should be explained, but man, it's a real big fucking lore hole. Oh my god, guys. Just
I understand, but at the same time,
this has definitely become enough of a recurring topic to be like, okay, we probably need to hit up, like, what a dead apostle is.
We never get super involved. It never gets super involved, but it keeps brushing up gently against Fate lore.
Just for now, I want to let you guys know that Nasu is a huge goth, and that real vampires are somehow even further beyond divine spirits for some reason. We'll see if we actually get into true ancestors sometimes, but it's pretty bullshit.
Thanks,
buddy.
You wild girl.
But yeah, that said,
Save us.
There's some interesting things going on there. But yeah, dead apostles and what the fuck ever. Like, I have some notes on vampires we'll circle back to, but the actual way that they become transcendent kind is, or the ones that are categorized as transcendent kind, is definitely a whole other topic. Much like how we already covered divine spirits, and by extension, nature spirits and elementals. Let's do a little bit of a wrap. Let's mention some notable phantasmal species and explain how they fall into these classifications. That'll let you give you some more concrete examples. So, first of all, Chimera are classified as a type of demonic beast, which are apparently the most common currently existing species. In my notes, I put, Jesus Christ, how horrifying. Fun fact, Chimera is a super broad term. It includes basically anything that falls under the definition of made up of different animal bits.
Oh.
Griffin? Kind of Chimera.
Hippogriff.
Well, actually, Hippogriff kind of stands out on its own. We'll come back to that. Hippogriff's got some really interesting notes, yeah.
Oh, okay, fuck. I was just throwing out names. All right.
But yeah, like in general, if it has multiple animal bits, it's a chimera. Chimeras are the most common type and still exist. And that kind of makes sense, because how easy is it for us humans to make up, what if a bear had wings and laser eyes? And be like, Ivan, no, don't say that. Why would you say it? It's like, choose the form of your destroyer shit. Hey, fun fact. So, demonic beasts are not outside of the domain of magecraft, so magecraft can actually create chimera. These are called synthetic beasts, and this is the domain of the zoology department of the Clock Tower. Who could have guessed?
Yeah,
this was the feature of a guy in Case Files, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what Lucky was about to mention.
Yeah.
And then Waver totally dunked on that guy for being a dumb fuck. You've made rats which eat lightning. Have you seen our electric bill? And that guy's like, what's an electric bill? Mages, everybody. Demonic boars are a recurring motif of demonic beasts seen in several European cultures. In Fate, specifically, they have called out Twitch, however the fuck you say that guy's Welsh-ass name. The demonic boar that Fion and Diarmid fought, and the Caledonian boar were all demonic beasts. They are usually embodiments of death and greed who can stand up even to dragonkind. Speaking of which, one of my largest bullet points here is dragonkind. They are basically the most famous, well-represented, and most powerful phantasmal species. So, Nasu is the correct kind of nerd. Dragons are the coolest. Except for vampires, I guess.
If you can't tell, Omega really likes dragons.
I like dragons. Who doesn't like dragons?
I love dragons too. I'm just putting it out there for people.
I mean, I did call myself kind of a dragon earlier. That was a pun on this, by the way, because they're called dragonkind. So their members cover all 3 ranks of magical beasts. There are demonic beast, phantasm beast, and divine beast tiered dragons of all various qualities. The thing in the Nasuverse which kind of ties dragons together is that they produce magical energy just by breathing. It's part of their biology. So they have a shitload of magic energy. And they can turn this energy into a breath attack. It is absolutely a reference to D&D. Like, literally, I was reading the notes and says, much like a certain rule book, the power of a dragon's breath attack is based on their constitution. Dragons, being a phantasmal species, obviously have much higher constitution than mere humans. I'm like, okay, alright, Nasu. You like D&D. We get it. So yeah, dragons are very much a D&D reference, like with the different types, breathing different things. Black dragons breathe acid. Did you know that? Wild.
Yeah.
So among the dragons, wyverns are a subspecies. They are low rank, they're demonic beast rank. And there are also Eastern-style dragons, which are a subspecies which are considered more divine and spiritual in nature, but still powerful. If you fuck with the reverse scale, they go crazy and fuck up the earth kind of thing. Other kind of divine dragons would probably be Leviathan, because Summer Melt does actually have the dragon trait. Ladon, the famous dragon which guarded the Garden of Hesperides kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The Dragon of Colchis. There's a lot of dragons of various tiers.
Wait, which one guarded the Tree of Golden Apples?
I believe that would be was that the Hesperides? I think that was Hesperides. That was
yeah, okay.
That's different than the Golden Fleece, because that was the Dragon of Colchis, which I don't think has a name.
Yeah,
but yeah, there are actually a fair number of Greek dragons and giant serpents. They explicitly call out Vitra, the great serpent in Indian mythology, as a dragon kind. Basically, much like everybody else, Nasuverse is just like, is it vaguely snaky, scaly, and does bad stuff? Fuck your shit up, dragon.
That's how they did it in the old days.
Yeah. So mentioned this before. The hippogriff is a combination of a griffin and a horse, which is said to be more manageable, but that counts as a phantom beast because the hippogriff is not even chimerical. It's just one of those things that humans thought of. Because how would a griffin, which is like an eagle lion, mate with a horse? They would be prey. It's a predator animal, a prey animal. That's just crazy. But it's enough of a what if that the griffin exists as a concept, and thus is a decently powerful phantasmal beast.
Wow.
This means that it can't quite reach the reverse side. It can only touch it for a second, which gives it its properties as a noble phantasm. So if you've ever wondered why hippogriff is weird, this is why. Fun story.
True facts.
So, fairies are technically demi-humans, even though they're phantom extensions of the planet who you can't even see with your fucking eyes. I guess they're still humanoid, even if you can't see them. Now, high-level fairies can actually clad themselves in what is called human imagination, so basically they can take humanoid shapes because humans think of themselves, and they're elemental spirits who can basically, if they're powerful enough, be treated as the transcendent kind. So, if you're a really, really strong fairy, you actually have like a physical form to interact with people that they can see, and you are a transcendent kind, a high-level spirit. Which probably means that they can be destroyed and could be summoned as servant. Give me some of that action, FGO. Giants are a recurring motif. We've met a lot of them lately. They're a type of demi-human who have a few varieties based on mythology. Obviously, the most fleshed out are the Norse Jotnar, because that was a whole thing in Lost Belt. But they do mention the Greek-style gigantes. So, giants are pretty interesting in folklore, though it's a little sad. This is touched on in Lost Belt too, but basically, they are flesh. They were not spiritual at all. They were not like a spirit creature. So they couldn't go to the reverse side. The only things that can go to the reverse side are things which have spiritual bodies and have souls. Or just your soul, rather. So this means that giants just died out. They are extinct, which is referenced in Lost Belt 2. The last place they were at was apparently Great Britain, which may explain why King Arthur punches so many giants, but that was basically the end of them. So, Oni-kind are a kind of Eastern demon, not demon. And they're classified as demi-humans, probably because they're humanoid. They have a variety of powers. They just have a general category. This, we'll come back to kind of why there's a lot of detail on Oni-kind in a second, but just know that there's some work put in there. Mm-hmm. Succubi or incubi are considered a type of demi-human as well. Dream demons, again. Small d, no a. They steal magical energy from humans via dreams and other stuff. Succubi are very explicit in Nasuverse because we're not afraid of the semen demon. They do this, though. They steal that magical energy to basically fuel their own powers of regeneration, dream manipulation, illusions, and maintain eternal youth.
Body fluid, something magic power, something.
Mr. Magic Seaman. That's a screen cap people have. That's the thing I said. All of Tiamat's children are various demonic beasts. There's not really, like, a super detail about them, but they all have descriptors and unique names, so they exist.
Maybe one day we'll find those extra tablets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, a lot of them. Like, literally, our boys, the Lahamu, are like... They're literally not described in records, just they exist. We don't even know what the fuck they're supposed to be, which is why they're so creepy in FGO. Now, so here's an interesting thing. I mentioned earlier I was going to circle back to vampires. This is actually a really broad fucking category in Nasuverse, which I do appreciate. He doesn't try to make all vampires his really broke OP waifu vampires. Like, the vampire or blood-sucking definition is really broad. You could argue, because she has the skill vampirism, that Medusa is a vampire, technically. Though, as Gorgon, she is actually a demi-human and a demonic beast, because her divinity is degraded. It's wild. But there's a decent amount of lore thought in there. But no, so vampires, bloodsuckers, this is going to include things like Lamia. There's actually a specific reference to a Lamia species. Oh, wow. Though, I'm sorry, Lucky, the only canonical member or descendant of Lamia is a dude. Though he is a vampire-ass looking motherfucker. He's got a cape and everything. Dead apostles, count, etc. Vampires are humanoid, so they should probably generally be considered demi-humans, like I know the Lamia types are. But Dead Apostle ancestors and certain high-level Dead Apostles, again, we'll get into what the fuck that actually is, but think of them as actual vampires, is Dead Apostle. You've seen some of them somewhere. They can rank up to be phantom-tier beasts. Like, for instance, in an alternate timeline, your boy Cathpulag, aka Primate Murder, is a phantom beast, or even a divine beast tier guy. When not being a capital B beast, it's weird. That's actually, by the way, a thing I should mention. Capital B, the beasts, are different from phantasmal species beasts. Some of them can be derived from there, like, for instance, Cathpulag, Beast 4. He is actually a phantasmal species, a phantom beast who can become a divine beast, but others are not. Like, Tiamat, for instance, is just a god. Mm-hmm. Gatia is at least an E demon, if not an A demon. Again, that may or may not be. Like I said, it's weirdly short, it's just really convoluted to explain. There's a lot of buzzwords in it. We'll see if I actually ever have to. Just suffice it to say that real daemon-type demons are, like, inexplicable and ununderstandable to humanity. They're not explicitly Eldritch Horrors, but Eldritch Horror-type things are supposed to be like real daemons in their utter incomprehensibility. Wild, I know. But yeah, so, actually another one, the Forest of Einosh, the vampire that is a tree, that's ranked up all the way to be a phantom beast. Oh. Like, because it's leveled up that much. It's actually progressed. Hey, here's another fun fact I bet you didn't know. Werewolves actually exist in the Nasuverse. Straight up. They're a demi-human type, but their highest levels, oddly enough, silver and gold werewolves. I don't know where Nasu got that one. Those are Phantom Beast classed. They've got, like, rules and are an actual standalone species and stuff. We won't get into it right now. But this comes up in Witch Night. Mahosukai no Yoru.
Ah, okay, that's why I don't know anything about it.
That's why nobody... If you don't know this, that's why. Because that one's not been translated. But yeah, werewolves are real. I mean, obviously, we punch werewolves in FGO, but, like, that could be anything. By the way, I would assume that a lot of FGO mobs fall into this category of phantasmal species. They are either demi-humans, like goblins. They're probably a demi-human. There's some gremlin creatures we thought up in our brains that try to kill us because we think about that kind of stuff. But yeah, werewolves are not just a mob you punch for Yggdrasil seeds. I assume this is also where weird jaguars come in. And then, so, there's a lot more. Just naming them all would be dull, but you can look up this list for yourself. But there's a lot of them. There's weird ones in there. Like, we've got established lore for shit like kelpies, as a species, much more. Interestingly, we don't know what the Kuriid, the thing that Hawk makes gay bullets out of, we know that it's probably a phantasmal species. We don't know what class it's in.
Isn't that fucking like a giant sea creature or something?
Yes, it's a giant bony fish thing. I would guess it's probably minimum a demonic beast, but it could be higher ranked. I don't know.
I mean, it's a spear that apparently can slay gods, so I'm assuming it's up there.
Yeah. But yeah, so you can listen to it yourself, but I would just want to tell you, If you run into a phantasmal species or magical beast that is an NP rank, that's usually a divine or phantom beast. Like Iskander's divine bulls. They're divine beasts. They come straight from Zeus. Medusa's Pegasus, I pointed this out earlier, has ranked up to be a divine beast. Normally, a winged horse, a Pegasus, would be just a monstrous or demonic beast, but hers has so much prominence and is so famous, he is actually a divine tier beast. And thus is a quite powerful NP. You might not think it from some of those people who mocked her because it's only single hit. By the way, yes, somebody almost got murdered in our Discord because they were talking about Scotty Lukes, and somebody was like, "Can Medusa loop?" And they were like, "God, no." And I was like, "Ooh, your life was in your hands just then." But I decided not to obliterate you.
I almost obliterated someone.
There's been a lot of casual obliteration. Listen, guys, spoiler channel exists. It's really easy to find these days. I honestly sometimes worry we're too casual about Lost Belt spoilers because I know people are still chewing through them. But also, those did come out several months ago, so it's hard to be too hard on them. But when an event's brand new, come on, a little tact. But yeah, so most people who have NPs that are phantasmal species, obviously, those are usually phantom or divine beasts. Like, Sphinxes are technically demi-humans, but they fall into a lot of tiers, so, hey, that powerful cosmic face Sphinx that Ozymandias has, that's a divine beast, duh. And basically, that's how it goes. Now let's have some fun facts to finish off. Humans and phantasmal species can interbreed. Usually this happens with demi-humans, like dream demons. Though actually, the gunslinger chick who taught Kiritsugu, she actually, I don't know why the fuck this came up, but apparently she's distantly descended from dream demons.
Wild.
Yeah. Oni-kind also, so this is a big deal in Tsukihime and other things, is people who are descended from Oni-kind and other Japanese demons, and inherit some of their weird and wild powers. Interestingly, Nasuverse associates Oni with fire and heat, usually.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting. Usually I think of, I would think of Onis either as just nothing, non-elemental, or I would think of Raijin and Fujin, who are often depicted as Onis, so I would think, wind and storms. But Nasu went with a fire focus.
Raijin is lightning, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Wind, fire, all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Big Trouble in Little China reference, guys. Look it the fuck up. It's a great movie. Great movie film. Low pan for Servant Win. That would be interesting. I wonder if they even know. It's a pretty classic movie. But yeah, so those are two of the big ones that you've definitely seen hybrids of. But yes, it's an interesting thing. This is actually kind of what the point of the Setsubun is, because Shuten wants to talk to Tomoe about being descended from Oni-kind. And sadly, Tomoe doesn't have a straight answer, but it can happen. Humans can also obtain the powers of other phantasmal species, such as King Arthur or the Sieg Boys. I just threw them all in a big category there. Getting the power of the dragon, either through ingesting dragon or being made like a dragon. So, for instance, this is why Artoria has such high levels of magical power. It's because she's got a dragon core, so she passively generates high levels of magical energy. Doesn't get a breath weapon, though, unlike Liz, who is a dragon because of Innocent Monster. And also, interestingly, humans can basically transcend. They can level up to being a phantasmal species. You can go full evil or crazy and become an Oni or a dragon.
It sounds like some Chinese novel cultivator shit.
Mm-hmm. And also literally Kiyohime. In defiance of all logic, but yeah, no, she was a normal human girl who was like, I'm so mad right now, I am literally a dragon. But actually, this comes up with Oni a lot, too. I believe Kyokoyo is probably like a mountain witch who became an Oni kind of thing. Yep. Whereas Shuten and Ibaraki explicitly state that they are born Oni. Though, Shuten is also a dragon child, because no matter which version of the legend, she is the descendant of some kind of mountain dragon demon guy. Which is, pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe, I don't know, actually, Fujino may or may not be. Same with the Shiki clan scene in Kara Kyokai. We just know that they have nondescript spiritual powers. That could be a source of Fujino's ESP. Fumiko Taro himself is possibly descended from an Oni. That also might just be a lie. His NP on that subject is open-ended. That could be more of an Innocent Monster self-hypnosis type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you could become a dragon, warp your flesh. One can become a vampire or a chimera via magecraft.
Magecraft!
Those are within the boundaries of magecraft, so you could actually just become like, man, what if I had tiger claws as a man? Boom, magic. There's a lot of other weird things are possible. So it's possible for not only normal animals, but also humans and other weird ones to become phantasmal species in their own right. And this is definitely the story of a few characters, basically. For some, it's a fall. Medusa was technically a goddess who downgraded to a demonic beast, became Gorgon, and other cases of transformation. But it's a like I said at the start, this is a pretty broad category, so there's a lot of things that can fall into this. And this is your basic bestiary. If you guys have any interest in specific subjects, like I said, I think we'll probably need to. I want to see some stuff first, see how some localization gets handled, get some lore firsthand. But vampires will probably be a standalone category. We'll probably hit up some interesting cases as separate subjects. I'm not going to do dragons, even though I like dragons. That would just be me listing all the different dragons and how they're different. You really got the high level here. They're much like real life. Dragon kind is just dragons. Is it vaguely a dragon? We'll call it a dragon. It's a dragon. Boom.
Sweet.
But yeah, there's a couple of interesting cases here, so that should hopefully give you all you need to know. And I actually wondered if this would fork into it well. It kind of does, because it drums up hype, because homunculi and even other types of magical constructs were not mentioned at all in this, by the way. So those are definitely a very separate thing that we can get into as one of our alternate future Teach Me's. Though, actually, I did get a second one. I'm wrapping this up, so let's talk about our Teach Me subjects that are left. So this month's poll, which should go up in a couple of days, 4 or 5 and up patrons, patreon.com/StudioMegaYT, I think. It's a link in our description, and on our channel page, and in our end cards. We have end cards, by the way.
We do have end cards.
Somebody got slightly nuked when they suggested me adding end cards, and I was like, joke's on you, I've been doing end cards for years. But yeah, our 2 topics right now are currently, what is a homunculus? And actually, this was brought up, it was originally brought up by, what are they just called? Daily Chaldea? They do a series of little, sprite edit comics that go up on Reddit and then usually get picked up by Grand Order Bot. Been doing this for at least a year, by the way, now. Maybe several? They're big. They got a lot of entries. They've been doing this a while. Do they have 1,000? I think it's crazy. But they actually did a question about holy and demonic swords, which people immediately threw out there were like, actually, this could be an interesting Teach Me talk. And I was like, it could be. I do like swords. So actually, while we've talked about noble phantasms, I don't think we've ever actually tried to break down what the fuck they mean by a holy or demonic sword. If it was in the noble phantasm episode, Past Omega probably threw up his hands and was like, I don't fucking know. But I think, especially considering some lore brought up in those comics, which is taken directly from FGO, and some other thoughts we've had about stuff, I think we could actually do this as a thing, and actually figure that one out, if you guys are curious. And like I said, depending on what some stuff we see in the next couple of events, I can probably talk some more about some other subject, like what I think I'm going to call it, when I do put up this vote, Lucky, I'm going to call it, what even is a vampire? What even?
No, that sounds fair.
Because, like I said, I looked into the hole while I was writing the phantasmal species, and I was like, oh, no, we're not going in there yet.
The abyss stared back.
Basically, yeah. And I was just like, nope, not today. Not today, vampires. But yeah, so that'll be a future one.
Not today.
Though, speaking of fun stuff, talking about different things that are weird, semi-future spoilers, but if you know her story, this is not really. But Benny Enma is actually an interesting case, the Crimson Tongue-Cut Sparrow, where she was literally a sparrow, but died and ended up in the underworld and was promoted to being an Oni. So she was just a sparrow who became Oni kind. It's wild. And I think, I'm going to guess they're probably going to do some thematic callbacks to Oniland, actually, because, it's one of those weird cases where, since we talked about how Shuten is a born Oni, right? Mm-hmm. Where, being promoted to being an Oni, Benny Enma has specific jobs as basically Hell Cook Sparrow, and it's kind of an interesting juxtaposition. I can't wait for that one. Sadly, we do have to wait a couple of months, because New Year's. Mm-hmm. Can't really move that date, but we'll see. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of interesting high-level lore to this, and a lot of weird, fun details, but doing all the edge cases and details would take way too fucking long. It's a good thing to know, so I hope that was informative to you, and we've come to about 2.5 hours of raw time. Well, obviously, we'll compress some of that out. But, yeah, hope you like that. So, I think that's going to be most of the wrap of the show. I already mentioned what will be in Teach Me next month. Consider supporting us on Patreon for that. So, the Christmas rerun in Japan ends, it's still a few days, because it's the 4th, but it'll be over by next week. There's been no news on the horizon, but I'm still betting something new and spicy, so hopefully they will have that announcement out shortly after that event ends.
I don't know. I think we're gonna get like some sort of like interlude campaign or something.
Gosh, I hope not. They've been doing that a lot. I think there was an interlude campaign before the Christmas rerun. Or was it just before Gouda Gouda? No, Gouda Gouda was hunting quests. They've done a lot of stopgaps, and I'm really hoping they just finally tear that Band-Aid off. I don't know if it's ready, but I hope they do. So we might talk about that one. Next week, we will probably talk about any new interludes we've done, interestingly. Any new crimes against humanity FGO Arcade has committed. And if nothing else, I don't know, we'll do a full mailbag. I don't know. I'm not committing now, by the way. You never know what news will happen. But I'm just saying, if fucking nothing happens in a week, we can probably do a full mailbag instead. All right. Lucky, do you have any other further final thoughts?
No, not really. Like I said, Heavensville Movies is still a couple weeks away. Let's see here. No news about. Oh, fucking. Wait, no, we mentioned that last week. How they're talking about the Solomon stage play. I think has it actually come out yet?
I don't think so. The pre-release event is still running in Japan, so I don't think it's actually happened. I can double check if it's got a date on it. Why the fuck not? Who cares? Time, it's nothing. Editing will take care of all of this.
Lucky has realized he probably shouldn't have built all the goddamn ships, because now he has no reason to build 3 ships a day. Motherfucker. Rip. Those are points lost.
Stage performance intro. Oh, no, it has already happened. It was the 18th.
Oh, okay.
Interestingly, I haven't heard anything about it. I'm going to guess it was good, because the stage plays seemed pretty fun, but I haven't actually heard anybody talk about it.
Well, I don't know. It's probably not been recorded or televised, so people can't actually, watch it.
Yeah. And actually, it seems like the production run has just ended. The performance date was the 18th to the 30th of October.
Oh, hey. So, hey, who knows? Maybe they'll announce Blu-ray sometime soon. Hey.
Yeah, something. They probably have a master recording. Because I believe they did that for Babylonia and Camelot.
Speaking of which, we've also heard no news about the fucking Solomon OVA. We got that tease at the end of Babylonia. When did Babylonia end? It ended like early this year, right?
Yes. It ended earlier this year, and then the thing happened. The Backstreet Boys just won't stop their reunion tour. I'm sure that's probably why news has been sparse.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that one. There's a whole bevy of news that could happen. Yeah, it ended in March. That was just before the thing really happened.
Yeah.
That was when we knew the thing was going to happen, but it hadn't actually happened yet.
It's happening,
Still happening. Everybody remember to stay safe on Halloween.
Let's see here.
Honestly, you should stay safe on All Hallows Eve anyway, but especially in 2020, stay safe.
Keep mask. Make sure you give witches their treat so they don't steal you. I'm trying to think. Well, let's see. We're waiting on, there's a lot of things just waiting to pop now that I think about it. Shoot, we're still waiting on the Switch game. Still waiting on home. We're waiting on that. We're waiting on this. Yeah, no, it's just a bunch of waiting. Hurry up and wait.
All right. Well, on that note of hurry up and wait and lots of yawning, let's wrap up the show, Lucky.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, if you like this show and you watch this on YouTube, be sure to give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. I think we asked you a couple of questions directly, so comment back at us. We've gotten a lot of fun comments about stuff. It helps us. Just don't actually me. I don't like that. So, yeah, that was comments. Oh, join our Discord if you haven't already. Link is in the video description and on our channel page. Fun place to hang out, talk to people about stuff.
It's wild.
And, of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to always get our latest videos of any variety. Keep an eye out. There'll be some Wanteds when Lost Belt 3 starts happening, and I think I've worked out to have a little special thing happen.
Special.
I'm consulting some outside scholars.
Really?
Yeah. So, probably something will come with that. We'll see what we can work with. Okay. So, that's why you should sub, and also why you should ring that bell for notifications. You always know when we post a new video or when we stream, because you never know when YouTube's going to decide that you can't stream about vampires with ads. Well, I mean, I understand why they may have looked suspiciously not ad-friendly, but please, YouTube, calm down. But yeah, make sure to hit your bell for notifications and set them to all so you always know when we stream, when we post new videos and stuff. Because, Wanteds can get weird. You never know when it might be posted. And, yeah, I think the only thing there... Oh, actually, no, I should mention you can also join the channel membership, link below. But the big thing is to remind everybody that you can support us on Patreon. You can get access to this episode early in audio format for as little as $1 a month or $10 a year. Somebody actually, before the month rolled over, upgraded to yearly. So shout out to them. It's a cool feature. If you back at the 5 and up level on Patreon, you can get access to topic polls, such as Teach Omega-sensei, and at least one pilot poll of Fanservant Friday. I haven't decided what I'm going to put in it, but I will. People said they might want to hear it, so we're going to find out if you want to hear it. And we'll run a poll with some of my choiciest options.
Choiciest.
So that's the 5 and up level, and at higher levels you can listen to the show live on Discord. We do occasionally do public episodes whenever we hit big things. Lucky yells. He probably fell off something.
I totally did. I was in Genshin Impact. I went to the end. I was like, I need to get to the ground real fast, so I jumped off, and I had no stamina left.
Rip.
Yeah.
Insert Dark Souls You Died noise here. I've already closed my soundboard, even if I had that button, so I can't do it myself. Just think about it. But also, yeah, at higher levels, you can listen to the show live, get shoutouts, etc. It is great. All right, that is it for Let's Talk FGO number something and something. 160 something, I think. And we will see you guys soon for What's Up. Like we said, we'll have a few choice things to talk about, including what's going on with Cyberpunk, and probably a lot of gotcha stuff. And, of course, stay tuned next week for more Let's Talk FGO. Whatever we've got to talk about, we'll talk about something. And stay tuned throughout the week for other content we do. Please watch.
Please watch.
Stuff. Other stuff that we talk about. Anyway, we outie.